That way we've got audio coming through. Come on, David, let's get to work.
Creekside will start with the ball on the 20. We remind you that the game tonight is being broadcast live on Sunshine Sports Broadcasting. If you have friends or family that would like to tune in, just send them to ssbjax.com, and all the links are there for their YouTube channel and the live broadcast.
You know, I love it when a plan finally comes together. It's Sunshine State Broadcasting, BP alongside David Wells. You know, there's a gremlin that we got to kick out every week, David. I'm pretty much convinced of that.
Well, we got football right off the bat here. Let's rock and roll.
Creekside starts with the football, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line off of the Parker Sertivan touchback. Dropping back to pass, and that is a really good catch on the outside by number 10, Aaron Sataros.
Pass completed from Ashton Felder.
Your quarterback tonight, Ashton Felder. Creekside comes into tonight's game at a record of 2 wins, 3 losses. They're on a 2-game win streak. They dropped their first 3 this season. Fleming Island coming off the pivotal district win against Ponte Vedra last week. We'll get a zone read there and a drive to the outside. Sean Aschenfelder, the senior quarterback, takes it himself. David, it's time for football once again. Not much to write home about with Creekside in terms of their season, man. They really have had it rough to start up, and they've ripped off 2 straight tonight.
Well, in years past, Creekside's had an excellent defense. They've been a juggernaut team as far as rushing the passer and defending the run. But this year, their defense has struggled mightily, and it's not quite the same unit up front. Now, they're still a downhill running offense. They still want to control the time of possession, but it's a different look this year than in years past.
2nd down and 7. Ball sitting at the 36-yard line. They'll give it on the left side, runs into the teeth of that defense. We'll get a couple of yards.
Harrison Garrido with the run.
Now we look at Fleming Island with
Harrison Garrido on the carry.
We look at Fleming Island, they've come off a couple pretty quality wins for this program, and this win over Creekside is going to be the first against Creekside in a little while. It was a barn burner a couple years ago or last season against Creekside with a very narrow defeat to a fantastic outcome from Sebastian Broughton.
Absolutely. It was one heck of a game. Fleming Island really wants this one pretty bad. Drops back to pass. That is going to be incomplete. In and out of the hands on the far sidelines. That's number 6, Caleb Taylor Birch, the senior wide receiver. That brings up 4th down. Creekside's drive stalls at the 37-yard line.
Now, I wouldn't put that too much on the receiver. That was actually a pretty intelligent route. It was supposed to be a very 1-yard short route, but he extends it past the line of scrimmage or past the sticks, the line to gain, so he could just catch it and get the first down. But the quarterback, seeing the rhythm, seeing the play before, throws it short where he thought he would be and ends up being an incomplete pass.
Back into punt. First punt of the game. That's a little bit of a wobbler. That's going to be fielded and fair caught by Sebastian Cruz. Get things started for the Fleming Island Golden Eagles. Last week, Demir Jackson ran like crazy. 186 yards on the ground and a pair of touchdowns for the big guy. He was, we figured he'd gone over 150 yards, but just under 200 that night. He was the Jacksonville Sharks Player of the Week last week.
Well, he'll be on the sidelines for this contest tonight. We see him on in street clothes with the backpack on. We're going to have a different look here for Fleming Island. More than likely the Sebastian Broughton show early.
1st and 10 for the Golden Eagles on their first possession. It starts at 10:15. Broughton will wait this out. Got Brady Dingman in the back. He sends him out into the flat. Drops back, they run a tunnel screen. That gets picked up pretty well by Creekside, and they're actually going to lose a yard on the play. Brings up 2nd down.
Now, this tunnel screen has been effective at times for the Fleming Island Golden Eagle faithful, but we've seen these plays often over and over again where they're throwing the screen pass into non-blitzing situations, which means those linebackers are sitting there right into that passing lane, and they're going to be at that receiver every time.
2nd down and 11. Tighten up the formation, stay in shotgun. Bunching everybody up in the line. Broughton get a snap. That's going to go to Dingman, who's going to run, get a couple of yards there. Gets across the 35.
3rd down for Fleming Island.
Brings up 3rd down and about 7.
Now, this most similar trait that Digman has to Jackson is going to be that downhill running. He's a good leg drive running back between the tackles. A more difficult guy to tackle as far as his physicality and power. Not much of a pass catcher and not much of a third down guy, but he can definitely carry the rock on first down.
Third down and call it about 7 to the 38. Trips to the right. Broughton gets a snap, tries to take it himself. He gets tackled immediately, but we got a flag on the play here. Let's see what the call is. That is in the general vicinity of a hold, but we'll get the official one here in just a second. Get happy with us tonight, Sunshine State Broadcasting. We got a little bit of a late start tonight, but we're running smooth. It's a 5-yard face mask, and they're going to repeat third down. Now, in high school ball, David, as we've learned, that you do have that old school incidental face mask penalty where nothing is always a personal foul. So they're going to move it up 5, repeat the down. Now we got a pretty manageable 3rd and short here.
Well, this is probably 4-down territory for you as well. You know, your offense is predicated on a strong running game, so you should be able to have 2 cracks at this and expect a first down.
Broughton rolls out of the pocket, tries to find a receiver. He's got a wide open man. That is Damiano DiStefano with a catch, and he's going to scamper into the end zone. Touchdown, Fleming Island, and that is your first worldwide automotive touchdown of the night. Sebastian Broughton throwing to, actually that's Damiano DiStefano out there, the senior. Almost misread that. They had 2 listings for number 11 on the roster tonight, but that is DiStefano. And that is an excellent catch and the first score of the game. We've got a flag on the play. Looks like we might have a little bit of a celebration penalty there, and that's not what you want early.
Now, I would call that a stretch to say that celebration was excessive. It's the first score of a ball game. I don't really agree with that call particularly. I think this is just kids having a good time trying to enjoy their senior year of high school football. Why not? They'll take that penalty on the kickoff, so they'll get an extra 15 yards of field position, which means that Parker Sertivan might not be kicking some touchback out of the back of the end zone.
That doesn't look like that's going to be the case this time. But nonetheless, the touchdown stands. Sertivan kick is up, and it is good. So with 8:19 to go in the first quarter, Fleming Island opens up the scoring 7-zip. Again, happier with us tonight. Sunshine State Broadcasting. Oops, I did it again. It's what happens when you get it through a name change, kids.
We want to thank our sponsors for Fleming Island football.
Well, this has been an excellent kickoff for SSB so far. We're looking at a long touchdown from Sebastian Broughton, something to set the tone for this game. I think that Sebastian's got a bright future in college football coming up, and in fact, he is eligible for the Jacksonville area through Week 6 Player of the Year. So it's a midway season award that they're going to vote on. It's on Jacksonville.com. So if you are a Fleming Island faithful, go visit Jacksonville.com and vote for Sebastian Broughton. He's got a very successful year so far. Prior to that touchdown pass, had 555 yards passing, 4 passing touchdowns, to go along with 5 rushing touchdowns and 285 rushing yards as well, with a long of 37. So the explosive athlete can do it both ways.
Absolutely. He's got an arsenal, and he's got plenty of talent around him, too, that he has really marshaled this season. This has been a really good year for Sebastian Broughton in his senior campaign. The Akron commit looking forward to going to Ohio to play ball. Says he wants to play ball at a small college.
Well, it makes sense to play early. You know, the most important thing in college football now is playing time. It is the most sought-after commodity because it's dollars and cents. If you get paid, you're going to play. So if he has some type of NIL rolling with Akron, if he has some kind of deal to play within his first 2 years, putting on tape is going to help him not only secure his spot at Akron or potentially lead to more and better schools, especially at the quarterback position.
So Sertivan is going to kick this little squibber here, and that's going to come up to about the 40-yard line, and he'll get pushed out of bounds.
And Akron's got a very good offensive head coach. He's a veteran guy, and he's a very phenomenal developer of talent. So as far as fit goes, might be a little cold, but I think he's going to do just fine.
And his grandma Lavinia is going regardless, so you expect grandma to be there. She was a guest of ours at halftime last week, and that was so much fun for us, and we're glad that we got to sit and talk with her. She is proud of her grandson. Rocco Ripa on the return of the short kickoff. Creekside will start in pretty good field position for this second possession. 8:17 to go in the first quarter on Military Appreciation Night. We want to salute all of our past and present service members, many of whom are in attendance tonight. We have one of our own this evening.
All right, so they're going to move it back here a couple yards based upon where the ball was touched and where they're going to restart play here. Here at the 35-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, now he'll get the benefit of it in high school because he signaled fair catch. Otherwise, in bigger leagues, that's a penalty for sure. So 1st and 10, 35. Creekside's second drive. He'll play fake. His pressure in the backfield. Jarius Rogers almost got back there. And he's going to run upfield, crosses the 50 down to the 45-yard line. Pressure in the backfield by Rogers. It doesn't come through. Ashenfelder gets it all the way across into Fleming Island territory, and that's what he's capable of, doing that quick run, getting out of pressure. He's a nimble quarterback.
Now, man coverage is an awesome way to make sure that you have all of your assignments checked off, but there is flaws in every coverage. For example, if all the receivers run to the right, there's a huge void and no defensive backs over on the left-hand side. So he takes that play-action pass, finds that void, and very smartly gets out of bounds.
1st and 10. Ashenfelder up the middle. Well blocked by Creekside. A tackle right there at the 35-yard line. And on the carry, number 34, Nick Gonzalez. I'm sorry, Parker Heron. I've misread that.
Now on the tackle there is David Smith. David Smith, over the past couple weeks, has been the most productive he's been over his entire high school career, and now they're going to need him more than ever as he's going to be a tackling force in the middle and their deep safety against this spread look.
Going to go tempo on this play, right to the line quickly. Fleming Island getting their signals in, making adjustments on the fly. 2nd down and short. Ashenfelder will give. Rolls it out of the pocket. He's got to open green grass. He's going to take the 1st down, gets across the 30, slides down there, starts to slide right at the 30-yard line. That's where they'll mark it, and that's another Creekside Knights 1st down.
And just as we say something nice about David Smith, who has deserved the praise, very much so, that was his responsibility out there on the edge and taking the quarterback. He has caught a little bit in the eye candy of that read fake and missed his assignment there.
So 1st and 10 for Creekside. Under 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Ashenfelder will clap and look, get a check from the sidelines. He'll take a snap, fake a handoff, nobody there, looking to pass, pressure, throws it into the waiting arms of a Fleming Island defender, and that is an interception, A.J. Witt.
All right, A.J. Witt, the Army commit, making sure these find the ball and being a productive guy here. He's a force in the middle. You don't usually see him making plays in coverage, but he was out there out on the sideline, made a good play. 1st down, Golden Eagles.
Right place, right time. So in our keys to the game tonight for Fleming Island, we want to see, obviously we wanted to see more of Demir Jackson, but we're not going to see that tonight. But you still have Damiano DeSteno out in the field. You've got Trace Burney. So tonight, really need to see the skill players get out there. Same thing on the defensive side of the ball, too, and just saw that there with A.J. Witt. And this is Chase Donaldson's night, I think, on defense. He got picked on a lot last week. Ended up with 4 pass breakups and a couple of almost interceptions. So tonight is his night on defense. But Witt gets the interception to get things started. Ball rests at the 26-yard line with 6:58 to go in the first.
And they're going to get fancy here. They're going quads right, and they're going to be in man coverage here, it looks like, for Creekside.
You get a snap, pump fake, flips it out to Burney, who tried to one-hand it, and that's incomplete.
Now, receiver screens versus man coverage. The one guy who's supposed to cover him is going to be an unblocked defender no matter what. So it's really tough to run screen plays, specifically the bubble screen, against man coverage.
Don't see Broughton jog off to the sidelines all that much to get a play. He does on this play. He's got 4 wide receivers to his right.
And now they're going to switch to zone coverage with their backs towards the sideline and eyes on the quarterback.
Pachata is the lone receiver on the far side. He looks like he's matched up one-on-one.
Now that is man to the top of the screen.
Broughton gets out there, another tunnel screen. Burney evades it, finds a blocker, rolls around the corner. Burney to the 40, and he'll step out, Trace Burney, and that's what we were just talking about, David. Get the skill players out in space and let them do what they do best.
You want to take advantage of matchups and coverages. You know, certain plays beat certain coverages, but certain players will always defeat certain matchups. If you have Trace Burney on a linebacker, go take it. If you have zone coverage and you have a deep shot available, like we saw busted coverage earlier in the first quarter, you go and you take that shot as well. So see what's in front of you, be a little cerebral, see what they're giving you pre-snap, and react to it in full speed.
Ball sitting at the 41-yard line right now. 6:40 to go. Clock is stopped on the out of bounds. Broughton will take a snap, takes it himself, finds a running lane, squirts through for about a yard. Really well defended by the Knights on that play. Broughton's another one of those dangers in space. Not much about the between the tackles run. He doesn't really run quarterback power as effectively, but once you get him around the edge, he is difficult to catch because he will turn on the wheels, show you that agility, and then forget about it. You better tackle him by the waist because you're not going to get him otherwise.
Yeah, especially at the next level, he will be more of a run as a scrambler type player and less of a designed run guy.
Looks like they're setting up screen again here. Got 4 to the left. Broughton flares out, looks over the middle. That's caught. A very rare over the middle look for Broughton. And that's another catch for Eric Gentry. It's the first time we've called his name in a little while. He gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. Eric Gentry, the wide receiver, also a backup quarterback, and likely the quarterback of the future here. Way to play it all.
Way to recognize zone coverage. There's a hole in the zone there. They're going to run a stop route over the top of the center as we come to the water break here. But as that stop route comes over the middle of the field, there's going to be a void. As those linebackers clear, Sebastian Broughton finds it and scores.
We're going to take a break, take a water break ourselves here with 5:54 to go in the first quarter. Fleming Island 7, Creekside nothing. You're watching Friday Night Lights on SSB. We'll be back in just a minute.
Bringing back the neighborhood repair facility with fair and honest pricing. It's why Worldwide Automotive's motto is car repair with care. Worldwide Automotive provides old-fashioned customer-centered service in an environment that is friendly and welcoming. Servicing domestic and European cars, Worldwide Automotive is offering $25 off to anyone who mentions this ad. And that's for any service. There's no need to go to the dealer for your 30, 60, 90, or 120-mile services. They offer same-day service and will handle your requirements for oil changes, belts, tire rotations, air conditioning, brake flushes, transmission services, and tune-ups. Come by and say hi to owners Joe and Valerie and see why they say their customers are family. Worldwide Automotive is located at 2490 County Road 220. For more information, go to worldwide-automotive.com.
Back here live at The Rock, Randy Warren Stadium, BP alongside David Wells. 7-0 Fleming Island coming out of the timeout. Quick flare out to Trace Burney. He'll try to find some edge blockers and then reverses his field. Broughton's going to try to help him throw a block. And then he gets out across the 25-yard line to maybe about the 24 before he is finally pushed out of bounds. Trace Burney only managing to get about 3 yards on that play, but there's him showing that athleticism again.
Yeah, I feel like the music should have came on for that one. Da, 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 da.
the old yakety sax trick. So they'll call it 2nd down and 8. Ball sitting at the 23-yard line. Again, happy you're with us tonight, watching on our YouTube channel. Also, got that embedded for you on ssbjacks.com. If you want to check out our website while you're watching the game tonight, we would appreciate it. Find all our social media. Broughton's going to give to Brady Digman. And no, he fakes it. Broughton's going to take himself on the edge and then falls to the turf. He's actually going to lose 2 yards on the play. And I think that looked more like a busted play than anything else.
Well, you're going to have to rely on Sebastian Broughton to run the ball in this game without Demir Jackson, but you're definitely hoping that there's a certain amount of organization to it. It needs to be cohesive. It needs to be well thought out. It needs to keep him out of harm's way because it's a long season, and just because he's out for this game doesn't mean he'll be out for the rest of the year.
3rd down and 10. They'll spot the ball right at the 25-yard line. Need to get to the 15 for a first down. Get a snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out, rolls into pressure, and that is caught. Pachata gets the catch, but he is hurt.
Yeah, that was a shot to the midsection there. A nice catch, nice focus and concentration, but ow, that looks like it hurt.
The timeout for the injured player. Pachata really took a hit on that one, trying to catch that. in space, try to get something out of it. And that's where we'll stop right there with 4:36 to go in this first quarter. Military Appreciation Night here at Randy Warren Stadium. It's another annual tradition here where folks are dressed in their red, white, and blue. The student section all decked out there in their patriotic colors and some beads and American flags as you came in tonight.
They had a ceremony in the back of the end zone for a pregame to honor all the military servicemen and women who served in all the branches. They lined the end zone and got to shake the hands of an official from NAS Jax, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people in the Northeast Florida area that are very, very proud of the troops and want to make sure that they're well represented in events like this and nights like this.
Want to give some thanks to my veteran parents, Lieutenant Colonel retired Peter Paul and Sergeant First Class retired Mary Paul. Come from military veteran parents. Also want to give a shout out to our very own veteran on the cameras tonight, Garrette Binford. Served in our United States Air Force. Garrette, we appreciate your service, sir, and we appreciate what you do for SSB. Can't do this without you. Parker Sertiman on for a long field goal attempt. He's got the leg. This is going to be about a 43-yard field goal. Out of the hold of Sebastian Broughton. Kick is up, and it is blocked. Broughton tries to run with it for a little bit, but that's not going to go anywhere. Creekside gets a very big stop on the blocked field goal. You know, those long field goal attempts, you got to angle it down a little bit, drive a little, especially with a little bit of a breeze out tonight, but that will turn out in Creekside's favor, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, special teams plays change the momentum of games very often. Plays like that are going to leave points off the board for Fleming Island and give a spark to this Creekside offense. Let's see if they can not only establish the line of scrimmage, but try to throw the ball out to these receivers against young defensive backs.
Sean Aschenfelder comes back out to marshal the offense. He'll have 3 wide receivers. He'll stay in the pistol. You get a snap, give over to the left side. Edge well set, good blocking. He squirts loose, and that is Harrison Garrido, who gets a first down for Creekside. Good set on the edge there, and a little bit of speed out of the running back.
Well, you got to take advantage of the fact that there's going to be a less of a rotation as far as the defensive line for Fleming Island goes. If you can keep this defensive line on the field, there's a good chance that they're going to be tired late in the drive.
Across the 40 to the 41 now. Coming up on 4 minutes to go in the first. Aschenfelder gets a snap, fakes. He's got pressure in the backfield, and that is caught. Finds an outlet receiver. That is Garrido. I'm sorry, I stand corrected. That is Eros Topher.
It's a nice pop at the end of the play there by Witt. Came over from his linebacker spot. Might have been a little bit late to get over in coverage, but not late enough to live a nice lick on that wide receiver.
Jarius Rogers in the backfield yet again. He's had a couple of pressures so far, but has not hit home. Yields a 2-yard gain, second down and 8, ball sitting at the 43.
Now you're going to get into a situation pretty soon where Jarius Rogers can come off the edge here. They're not going to chip him with a running back, it looks like, so he has an opportunity to tee off on a tackle that likely is an inferior talent to him.
3 wide. Flares it out in the flat. That's caught by Caleb Taylor Birch. And he'll get shoved out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. Another short gain by Creekside. Stops the clock with 3:08 left.
Third down.
A lot of seniors on this Creekside roster. Plenty of experience out there. And shocking, though, with all of that experience, at least they're 2 and 3. It's kind of interesting to see that. They have a lot of leadership out there. Staying 3 wide on 3rd down and 6. Aschenfelder drops back. Caught wide open. Excellent grab. Great throw. Eris Toffer with another reception at the Fleming Island 45-yard line, and that'll move the sticks again.
I love a good half roll. A half roll offense is a great way to protect your quarterback. You know, if you might have one good tackle and not 2, you roll towards the good tackle, let your back and tight end chip. All of a sudden you created your room for your quarterback to operate, and a nice out route to the sideline.
Give it up the middle this time. Garrido gets about 3, maybe 4 yards on that play.
For short yardage, that's a Creekside second down.
All right, look at Reyes coming in here to hold up the middle of that defensive line. He's usually put in key situations. They want to stop the bleeding on this drive.
Clock rolling now, under 2:40 to go. Again, happy you're with us tonight on SSB. First quarter action here in a non-district matchup between Creekside and Fleming Island. Ashenfelder drops, throws, he's got single coverage, and that is caught. And he's going to scamper down into the end zone. He's going to cross the plane to the goal line, and that is going to be a Creekside touchdown.
All right, one long touchdown answered by another long touchdown.
Eros Topher with the reception and the score for the Knights. That's the first touchdown pass of the evening for Creekside. Comes at 2:20 to go in the first quarter. Coming up for the extra point, Evan Marchand, senior kicker. His first attempt of the night. A little high snap, kick is up, and that is true. So with 2:20 to go in the first, we're all knotted up at 7 apiece here at Randy Warren Stadium on Military Appreciation Night. David, it's a gorgeous night tonight for football. We had an 86% chance of rain, and we got the better part of that. So
we just got a little cloud cover for pregame and a little breeze for the actual game. It's been pretty fantastic so far. It's a great game and a well-kept field. There's been a lot of rainstorms and a potential another storm coming later in next week, but this field's held up very nicely this season. This facility is fantastic here at the Rock. I can't say anything more positive about the way that Fleming Island takes its football program seriously, takes its boosters seriously, and even takes us at SSB seriously.
Coming up at the half today, we have several guests coming our way, one of which is a Fleming Island alum. We hope he'll make his way up here. But we're also going to have some current Fleming Island athletes from the volleyball team. Volleyball team looking ahead to district tournament. They have been playing really well this season. We'll be talking with Emily Topp and Kaylee Kirkland about their season, look ahead to their season finale against Clay, which we will be broadcasting next week at the Nest, the first volleyball game that we'll have on SSB, and we're happy to bring that to you. It's senior night and the regular season finale for the Fleming Island Golden Eagles against the Clay Blue Devils. Again, Tuesday, October 8th. Varsity game will broadcast at 7 o'clock live from the Nest. Ball drops off the tee there. And they're going to send this one away. Short kick. Bernie will get a hand on this one at the 5-yard line. Looks for a wedge. Pursuit on the outside. Here goes Trace Bernie. Look out. He tries to wiggle out of a tackle, gets across the 30-yard line, and I'm telling you, he was one missed tackle away from a touchdown, David. He was gone.
Now, when you look at superior athletes that know they have a lane to the end zone, sometimes their eyes just go so wide, and you see that extra burst. But that window closed up pretty quickly, and Trace had a chance there. But great job by the safeties of the Creekside kickoff unit converging on that play.
Spot the ball at the 32-yard line, where they'll start their drive with 2:10 to go in the first quarter. Creekside has been a district opponent for a number of years for Fleming Island, but with the reclass and the move up to 7A, this is now a non-district game, but Fleming Island would love nothing better than to get their hands on Creekside tonight with a win. Broughton worms his way out of the pocket. He's got open space across the 50 to the 40, 45, 30, down to the 20-yard line, still on his feet, gets shoved down at the 10-yard line. They'll spot him officially at the 9, and Sebastian Broughton do what he do. What do we say? He can't run between the tackles all that well, but once he gets outside, forget it.
The ankle stability, the top-end speed, the burst around the corner, there's so many things you look at as far as prospects go. What kind of things can you offer that other people don't? Sebastian Broughton's got those in droves. And on that play, a great job by the Creekside defenders going all out in the sprint to go try to chase him down. They were fingertips away from a touchdown, so great effort there.
Yeah, once he gets into the open field like that and accelerates, it's all hands on deck at this point. You won't catch him, and if you do, you're a pretty good athlete yourself. First down and goal. Broughton will have 3 wide receivers to his left. He'll fake, runs into pressure. That is tipped and incomplete. Trace Bernie was the intended receiver, well covered down inside the goal line by number 21, Kyle Payton.
Now, there's a nice toughness there, standing in there, taking that hit. You could tell that altered the path of the ball when he threw it, but wow, staying in there, taking a hit, trying to deliver a touchdown strike. Now that next step in the maturity of Sebastian Broughton is fantastic.
2nd and goal at the 9. Minute 34 to go in this first quarter. An eventful first quarter. State trips to the left. Broughton drops back. Good protection. Steps up. He floats it out. Bernie's in the corner of the end zone. And did he one-hand that? No. He caught it, but he was not in bounds. That would have been an acrobatic catch, making a highlight reel or two.
It still looked real pretty. Yeah, it still looked fantastic, but just a step out of bounds.
Just a little more air on that one. If he's running in a Canadian end zone, he's got a touchdown, without a doubt. And a pretty one-handed catch. Boy, I tell you what, Trace Bernie's got some ball skills, doesn't he? He can do wonderful things.
I just think that he's the most explosive player on this offense. He operates pretty exclusively out of the slot. They'll look for matchups for him. And right now it looks like they're going to put him one-on-one versus a linebacker. You'd take that all day.
3rd and goal. Broughton will fake. Flips it. That got tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. Boy, he was trying to throw a quick slant over the middle and sneak that in there. And not successful. Heads-up defense by the Creekside front 7, and that's going to bring out Parker Sertivan for a field goal attempt.
Yeah, I'm sure that's disappointing after that long run. It really set up a pretty good field position spot for Fleming Island, but unable to convert there in the red zone. It's going to be big, especially later in the year, to make sure you're taking as much advantage of those red zone trips as you can.
Sertivan is 0 for 1 tonight. This one from a little bit more true distance. It's going to be about a 27-yarder. There is a bit of a breeze tonight, blowing from his back to left to right. Kick is down and up. That's kind of a weird wobbly kick, but it does go through the uprights for a field goal. Parker Sertivan adds 3 onto the board. Fleming Island 10, Creekside 7 with a minute 19 to go in this first quarter. Quite a bit of offense so far. If you've been just tuned in, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Make sure that you stop by our social media, would you? Facebook and X at SSBJax, and on Instagram and Threads at SSB.Jax. Also go to the website ssbjax.com to get our full broadcast schedule for the remainder of football season and some other events that will come up. We are heading towards basketball season. Just had a wonderful conversation with David Tarkenton, who's on the PA again tonight. He also does some of the score in PA for Fleming Island basketball. We're planning on visiting the Nest, visiting the Raider Dome. What a wonderful venue for basketball those two places are. And, of course, Fleming Island Clay, always an excellent game. It's kind of like Duke, North Carolina up here in terms of basketball. It's always rowdy. The student sections are really loud. So looking forward to that. And then later on in December, the Battle on the Island tournament, boys and girls basketball tournament over several days during the Christmas break. Wonderful things ahead on Sunshine State Broadcasting. Continuing the tradition right here on SSB. Sertivan sends this up. That will be returnable. Cuts upfield, finds a couple of blockers, squirts off a tackle. Hits the circle button there, and that looked like it was Tice Donnelly, I believe, that made the return.
So just as a side note, as our spotter pointed out.
Sorry, it was Jackson Earl on the return.
Just as our spotter pointed out, Nate Van Hoff was having a tough time on the sideline here. Might be a little sick to his stomach, but he's still out there for Fleming Island. He had some attention from the trainers. Might not be feeling 100%, but he's out there trying to tough it out.
Stand correct. It was Jackson Earl on the return. Hey, Oscar, your man is there. That's the best we can analyze right now. That's coming from the live chat. If you happen to be in the YouTube live chat, give us a shout. I've got it right in front of me. Happy to converse with you when we get some breaks. Sean Aschenfelder with a snap. Going to give on the stretch play. And that was well defended by Fleming Island, only giving up a couple of yards there to the 27-yard line. Don't see the stretch play run very often, Dave.
So the stretch play has been replaced by either tosses, outside zone, or a bunch of different variations of cutback plays, giving you more options on how you're supposed to be able to do things. The stretch play itself is supposed to attack weaker defensive ends, and these defensive ends for Fleming Island know how to play ball.
Yeah, when you got Jarius Rogers on the right side there, forget about it. Aschenfelder throws this into the flat, and that is a backwards pass. I don't know why they're flagging that as incomplete. That was behind the line of scrimmage, but they wave it off and brings up third down. Interesting.
So at least in high school football, those plays are a little more excusable, calling incomplete versus a fumble. At the collegiate and professional level, you have to call those fumbles and see how the play plays out. At the high school level, there's no replay, so your call on the field is going to be what ultimately matters anyway.
Still brings up third down and 7 to go. Ball at the 28-yard line. 43 seconds on the clock here in the first. Gets a snap. Throws right over the middle. That was a hot shot. And bounces off the hands of Rocco Ripa, which that will bring up 3 and out for the Knights.
We see the difference in quarterback play there. You have somebody sit down in the middle of the field in zone coverage, and easy throw over the middle. That's something you got to have 10 times out of 10. Sebastian Broughton made that throw in the first quarter. Creekside missing that throw here now.
Back in punt formation is Sebastian Cruz. He sits at the 35-yard line on a gorgeous, somewhat clear evening here in Fleming Island, Florida. Happy you're with us tonight. We get a snap. Nice little end-over-end kick. Wave that one off. That one will take a Creekside roll across the 50. Approach the Fleming Island 46-yard line, and that is where the Golden Eagles will take over. No return on that play. 27 seconds to go in the first quarter in a 10-7 ball game.
So here you're going to look to try to turn things around as far as making sure your offense is clicking on all cylinders and you convert those red zone attempts. If I'm the coach at Fleming Island, I'm circling back to that deep passing game. That was such a faux pas in that first drive. So they're going to try to at least see what these receivers have in their matchups. It looks like they might have a speed advantage on the outside.
First quarter has been somewhat lengthy. We're at the tail end here with bunch up formation. Broughton will give to Dingman, who will run, maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And that may be the last play of the first quarter. They do not have to run a play here if they don't want to.
You know, I always like to take advantage of these situations. It's good hard count situations. Get up to the line of scrimmage, act like you're running a play, and then just try to get them off sides.
Yeah, and sometimes it works.
And that's the end of the
Sometimes you
first
get the best of yourself. End of the first, 10-7. Fleming Island leading Creekside right now. Of course, we're going to be paying attention to some other high school games in the region, and a pretty big game in St. Johns County across the river there. Beachside, a fellow district opponent who we have next week here at the Rock on a Thursday night game. The Barracudas tonight are at Tecoy Creek playing the Toros in what they have called the Surf and Turf Bowl.
That's pretty good.
That game is streaming live over at WJXT tonight, so they have a good important game. Now, we will have that Beachside Fleming game next week, and that, David, is a major district battle because many people thought that the Ponte Vedra game last week was sort of a de facto district title, but Beachside can't be slept on either, and definitely not Middleburg, who's 6-0.
So as far as winning against Beachside, it's going to be one of the most important things to get your momentum going towards the end of the season. You know, you want to have that district record, and not only have that district record, but be playing with the best caliber of offense you can down the stretch here. So that game is going to be pivotal, especially if they don't have Demir Jackson for it.
Absolutely, and it's a Thursday night game nonetheless, so got a little bit of a short week, which is very rare in high school ball. Back to action in the second quarter here, second down and 10. Ball sitting at the 46-yard line. Broughton getting some signals from the sidelines. He's got that bunch formation on the right side, 4 wideouts, and they'd like to run screens out of this. Gets a snap, good protection, and then breaks down. He looks up, throws into the air. That is Pachata. He's going to bounce off, and they're going to flag him, I think, for pass interference. I'm not sure if he was ever going to catch that ball inbounds, but they might have gotten it for some of the contact. Let's see what the call is.
Now, is this going to be offensive or defensive pass interference here?
That's also what I'm wondering, too. A little bit of a collision back and forth, some hand fighting there for a minute, a little bit of a shove between the two of them. And they are going to call defensive pass interference on that one. So first down, Fleming Island on the PI call. Yeah, that one's kind of 50-50.
And I think Sebastian Broughton's going to want that ball back. He was about one good flick away from that being a touchdown pass. I think he got a little bit of a wounded duck there, but he normally throws a pretty good spiral down the field.
Yeah, that one was a little bit of a fluttery ball, too. And Pachata tried to make an adjustment on it, too, and that's likely what had the defender overcommit and commit the foul. Broughton will take it himself on quarterback power, runs between a couple of tackles, and wisely now this is something I've seen him do a couple of times where he's had an opportunity to maybe get an extra couple of yards, maybe try to make a razzle-dazzle play, and then he wisely just gets down to the turf, takes what the defense gives him, and lines back up, and that's senior leadership right there.
And that play was an RPO. He had the option to throw that to the outside there. They're building in more of these RPOs without a running game to possibly try to just count numbers in the box and see what they can do without their running back.
2nd and 5 from the 33. Broughton will give to Dingman this time. Dingman will claw up the middle, and he will get about 4 more yards, make it a very manageable 3rd down and short. Actually, no, I think they might have given him the first down here. And they did. Maybe? The official signal was to stop the clock, and yes, they have moved the chains now, so that is a Fleming Island first down. A little bit of delay on the call there. Just make sure they got the spot right, and that will wind the clock here under 10:47 to go in the half. Golden Eagles are moving on offense. Ball at the 29. Broughton holds up, he'll get a signal. Four wideouts. Dingman will line up in the pistol, and now he'll adjust to sidecar to the left. Take a snap, gives, and now we have a penalty flag on the play. Looks like we're going to get a false start call. That's the initial signal. Didn't quite see who moved a little early, but it looks like the near official had seen that. And it depends on the officiating crews. Sometimes you'll get a number called, sometimes you won't. It's not required that they do that in high school ball, but every now and then you get an official who will call a number out for the benefit of the press.
Well, especially because coaches want to know. Coaches are asking, hey, who's that actually on? Hey, what's going on here? Who do I have to give a lesson to? Let's call it that way.
Right. 1st and 15 now, back from the 34. Broughton drops back, throws quick over the middle. That was tipped, nearly intercepted. Got a hand on that. Number 19, Josh Guy, the junior, rolled back in his linebacker spot and got a finger on it and wants that one back. Kind of feels like I did last Monday playing flag football with a wide open pick 6 that I managed to drop from my linebacker spot. Silly me.
Well, now we look at Creekside having a lot of man coverage. So normally sticks, hitches underneath, can defeat man coverage, but that time the safety comes into the passing lane, deflects that one away.
2nd and 15 now. Broughton drops back, sees some pressure, throws it over the middle. There, he got that finger flick. And Trace Burney finds his way, breaks a tackle, and he's going to scamper into the end zone. Trace Burney, oh my goodness. That is another worldwide automotive touchdown for the ever-elusive Trace Burney.
Excellent job by Trace Burney, taking something and making an extra big play out of it. That's only designed to get you the first down. It's his own effort, his athletic ability, and his desire to get into the end zone that shows there in his speedy burst out to the outside and a score.
I'm telling you, David, this Fleming Island team has finally gotten it together with how to manage its talent. And it's not just Sebastian Broughton. It's not just Demir Jackson. Trace Burney showing out tonight. He had 2 touchdowns last week, and tonight he looks to be adding to that performance. Already got 2 this evening. Parker Sertivan's kick is up and good. 9:51 to go in the first half. Fleming Island 17, Creekside 7.
Want to remind all students in Clay County that following the game tonight, we'll have
want to thank a couple of our sponsors. Of course, Worldwide Automotive, the official touchdown sponsor of Sunshine State Broadcasting. We also want to give our thanks to First Baptist Church of Orange Park for their continued support of Sunshine State Broadcasting. And of course, we always want to give a nod to our friends over at Mr. Chubby's Wings around the corner here from Fleming Island, the home of the original Fleming Island Happy Hour, and another place that you can find our games on their TVs. Vito, we appreciate what he does for us, and it's our favorite hangout spot after games were on this side of town. You know, there are days, David, where I'm glad we don't have a crowd mic anymore, because I'm not sure what he said, but I'm sure it was hilarious.
It was a joke that the Gen Zers would love.
Oh, it was one of those skibbity toilet rizzy thingies.
Yeah.
Yep. Hard pass. I'm sure somebody will clip that and put it on social media later. Parker Sertiman kicks it off. Sails, and that one's going to drive all the way back into the end zone, and there's the touchback machine doing what he does best. Creekside will start on the 20-yard line.
All right, so if I'm Creekside, I got to look at my matchups a little bit more. I got to see what I can get down the field. There hasn't been much of a down the field attack since that bomb I had in the first quarter to the perimeter. If you're able to find something that you like, whether it's off of play action, whether it's off of some motion or misdirection, there will be something where you can take a one-on-one shot, hopefully scheme somebody open down the field. There needs to be something creative in order to get the ball completed and this offense to get going.
1st and 10 for the Knights. 9:51 to go in this half. Trips to the left. Drops back. Finds that one-on-one matchup, and that is maybe in the dirt. No, they're going to signal that incomplete. He thought he might have gotten his hands under it, but ground can't help you catch that one. Second down.
Now, you'd rather be short than long. You'd much rather have that one hopper than throw it over the head of the receiver, but he's been leaving too many of these throws short, and it's trying to get the ball out of harm's way, but at the same time not putting enough mustard on there to give your guy a chance.
Come out in 4 wide, try to spread the formation out here. Aschenfelder and pistol, and they might have almost gotten Fleming Island on that one. Get a snap. They'll stretch it out on the right side. Well blocked there for a couple of yards. Harrison Garrette has been doing most of the running in the backfield.
3rd down.
Give him about 6 yards on the play. 3rd down and 4. Shoved him out of bounds, stopping the clock at 9:36. They'll bunch up the formation now in short yardage. Then they'll flare out Caleb Taylor-Birch. And they're going to see in the flat here, that is caught. Broken tackle, that is Aaron Sataros with the reception, and he breaks a tackle, powers through for a Creekside 1st down.
Aschenfelder's pass complete to Aaron Sataros.
Finding these easier completions, getting your quarterback back in rhythm, trying to shake off these one-hoppers and interceptions that he's thrown so far in this game. You got to find ways to get your playmakers the ball, and that was a pretty good way to do it.
Creekside has shown the ability to move the ball on Fleming Island, but they've generally stalled right about midfield. They'll stay at 4 wide. Aschenfelder drops back, finds another open receiver who drops the football. Rocco Ripa, that's twice. He's been wide open in that middle field area, right in the middle of the zone, big hole, and just can't hang on to the football.
So Fleming Island's been playing a lot of quarters, trying to stay deeper than the deepest man, but if you play quarters, it's an open middle of the field coverage. So if there's an open middle of the field coverage, that little spot route's going to be there from time to time.
And Aschenfelder's doing exactly what a quarterback should do at that point, take what the defense gives you. He's got to have a receiver that catches it, though. 2nd down, ball to 34. Aschenfelder will drop back, pressure coming, tipped, and that is incomplete. And the Fleming Island pressure got to that one, puts a hand on the ball, and I believe that was tipped by Lavelle Howard, the senior.
All right, we definitely want to see more pass rush involved in this game. It's Nate Van Hoff and Jarius Rogers on the outside. They're going to be 2 guys that really like to get after the quarterback, Van Hoff being a better run defender and Jarius Rogers being a Division I recruit as a pass rusher.
3rd down and 10, ball at the 34, 9:06 to go in this half. They'll put trips to the right. Get a snap, Aschenfelder will drop, scans, got pressure in the backfield, tries to throw it to Garrido in the flat, but the house was caving in as the Golden Eagles play solid defense and force the punt.
So that's Jarius Rogers on the swipe move to the outside. It's taking his hands, swiping him outside of the offensive tackle's outside of the offensive tackle's frame, dipping around the corner and getting to the quarterback. He's the one that caused that disruption in that early throw. So a great individual effort there by Jarius Rogers, making sure that play was not going to happen from the get-go.
Sebastian Cruz deep to receive. He's at the 35. Get a good snap, and they're going to fake it. And they got to throw to a wide open receiver. That is caught. Nolan Nielsen slips into the flat and is wide open. Creekside makes a huge play on 4th down, and I think they're going to get the benefit of a penalty afterwards for some words exchanged, and the Knights are rolling.
Oh, absolutely. Taking advantage of a 4th down punt. They saw the coverage in weeks past in film study of what Fleming Island might do in 4th down situations, and they realized that they don't cover this person in man-to-man coverage in their defensive scheme. They're more of a I want to return the kick or block this punt kind of team, so trying to go one or the other cost them here.
They're going to get an unnecessary roughness call on Fleming Island. Tax 15 more on to an already huge 4th down play, and the Knights go to their bag of tricks and convert, and they get all the way down just shy of the red zone.
And it was definitely a great call because I thought it was actually going to be a punt block from Jarius Rogers. Jarius Rogers came untouched off that edge, and it was a big play waiting to happen until they throw it right over his head for the first down.
And a nice pass, too, by the way.
Absolutely.
It's not very often you see punters come out with a really good arm like that, but that was a heck of a throw. 1st and 10 for Creekside of the 25. Aschenfelder will give to Garrette. Garrette rolls up the middle. He'll get 7, maybe 8 yards on that play. Another good run up the middle. Fleming Island's doing a pretty good job of plugging that hole, but that one was a dart right up there. Garrette, small frame guy, low center of gravity.
But keeps the safeties in the box, lulls them to sleep a little bit, setting up the play-action game.
They're going to stretch it out to the right side. Garrette tries to find a hole. This time he's met with force in several green jerseys. And no deposit, no return on that one. He'll get right about to the 16-yard line.
And you're right, BP. That is the old-fashioned stretch play. You're trying to double the defensive end, get onto the perimeter, see if you can find one big hole to cut back in or bounce it to the outside. It is not a one way or the other type of play. You have to do it towards the strong side. You have to do it towards the teeth of the defense. So it's a very old-school style of attack, but it's working here for Creekside Knights.
Correction on the spot. 3rd down and 3 from the 22. Fleming Island trying to get their defense organized. They're not set. And they get settled now. Aschenfelder will take it himself, try to get the first down. He does. Gets out, breaks a tackle, and that's going to be a touchdown for Sean Aschenfelder. The effort play on that one busts through and scores the touchdown.
Aschenfelder with the keeper and the run.
So we have a quarterback power here. You have a you have a fullback lead blocking for the quarterback as he gets through the line of scrimmage. He's going to take on the linebackers, and that leaves you the man advantage into the red zone. A great way to run the football and a physical run from the quarterback.
And a tremendous drive by Creekside. Get into a 4th down situation, line up to punt, fake it, get a huge first down, get the benefit of a penalty, and then your run game kicks in, and the Knights will score, and then they're going to put on an extra point and make this a 3-point ball game with 7:40 to go. Fleming Island 17, Creekside 14. A worldwide automotive touchdown for Sean Aschenfelder on the ground of about 22 yards.
So it looks like Creekside's found their answer in this scheme. It's that hole in the middle of the zone, and they're definitely going to come back to that. They've seen 2 completable balls there, and also this outside run game. You know, the threat of the run and also the quarterback run has to really put the Golden Eagles on their heels because they can't tackle in space.
And this is something that we've kind of seen with Fleming Island as the season has gone on. As you get into the situations where drives get extended, they tend to kind of start withering as a defense, and teams have pounced on them. Now they've had the benefit of being, you know, in games where their offense has managed to come down and counterpunch, but you can't take too many of those against a team that runs at a high rate offensively. And Creekside they still got the horses to run. Don't let the record fool you. These guys still can put up some offense, and they have done it this season. 2 back-to-back games where they were in track meets with Bartram Trail and Winter Park and won those games despite getting blown out their first 3. So they've probably had a little dose of cold water themselves and have rattled their season back into what they're used to seeing. Going to get into a muffled formation there, and then they're going to send that up, and Bernie is going to not return this, although he had eyes on it. That's going to be a touchback. Put that at the 20-yard line.
All right, back comes out Sebastian Broughton. Let's see what he wants to do here with 7:40 to go. It's probably plenty of time, a wide open offense. You've had some success with throwing the ball, some success with running the ball yourself. You'd like to see Brady Digman get a couple more carries and really start to solidify that middle of the field run. Overall, I do think Sebastian Broughton, though, needs to be able to carry this game through this quarter into the second half.
And like we said earlier in the broadcast, get your skill players in space. Bernie's been doing a pretty good job right now on offense, but you need to get some of your other guys involved so they can make some plays and keep the pressure off Bernie so he can get left out to dry and make those big plays when you need him to. 7:40 to go in the first half. They'll play fake. Broughton rolls out of the pocket. He's got a man over the middle. That's Bernie. Speaking of, gets to about the 39-yard line, and what a good rollout by Sebastian Broughton. Had two options, and Bernie was further downfield. Great throw, and we have a first down.
Yeah, you're only able to do that deep crosser with guys with speed. You can't run a deep crosser from the opposite side of the field without somebody covering some serious ground. And on that play, Bernie's able to take his slot roll from opposite field and get to the sideline quickly.
1st and 10, they spotted 39. Clock rolling, 7.5 minutes. Broughton will give to Dingman, runs into traffic. 3 Creekside defenders penetrating into the backfield. On that one, that's going to be about a 2-yard loss. And they missed something with Jackson not in the game. Yeah, he has that downhill, aggressive, kind of a boulder rolling down the hill mentality, where Dingman's a good possession running back, but he just doesn't have the power.
Especially after you have long developing pass plays like that, where you ask your receivers to run 40, 50 yards and get right back to the line of scrimmage. You need the yin and yang of the run game to try to give those guys a breather.
2nd down and 11, sitting at the 38-yard line now. Under 7 minutes to go. Broughton get a snap. He'll play fake, throws over the middle, caught. Bernie's again, and there he goes. Trace Bernie to the 30, down to the 20, to the 10, 5, touchdown, Trace Bernie. Forget it. A worldwide automotive touchdown at full speed.
Yeah, you take a play full speed. That's what the next level of quarterback play is. Can you hit your receivers as they're running, and can they hit and not break stride once they get the ball? And right there, Bernie just turns on the jets, burns Creekside defense deep.
Sebastian Broughton's 3rd connection to Trace Bernie tonight for a touchdown. Another really good toss, and boy, they have been on the same page.
I mean, if only they had converted that deep red zone trip here, you'd be a much different ball game. But now we're going to have an extra point here to go, 24-14.
Serving on for that extra point. Kick is up, and that is good. So with 6:36 to go in this first half, Sebastian Broughton finds Trace Bernie again. He turns on the speed and ends up in the back of the end zone, 24-14. Fleming Island answers Creekside's drive pretty handily. And I think, David, we might be in for a bit of a track meet tonight.
Well, I'm hoping we got a good ball game here. We had an excellent one last broadcast, so I'm down for these fourth quarter games that come down to the wire. Obviously Fleming Island's a talented team, and they want to make sure that they put their foot on the gas and try to stop the Creekside Knights here, get the ball back and score. But, the games are a lot more fun when they come down to the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. Fleming Island on a 2-game win streak, which is also nice to say, a 2-game win streak. They're also on a 2-game district winning streak, which is also good for them to say. After having the last 2 seasons where they were winless in district play, they have been rolling this season.
The best kind of win streak, absolutely.
The district win streak is the absolute best. This is a much more improved Fleming Island team. Despite the 2 losses this season, they've really started putting it together and have become the team that we kind of expected they would. Sertiman kicks it off. That one will go into the end zone for a touchback.
Well, the 2 big areas where I've seen Fleming Island improve the most, first has been the penalties. They've got rid of a lot of the cheap penalties, especially the ones we saw in the Clay game. I couldn't count the number of personal foul penalties we saw in the Clay game. But they took that next step after that game and wanted to readjust and make sure they knew how to do things. The next time they come out, their offense doesn't work. What do? They change things up a little bit. They make things a little simpler for Sebastian Broughton, ask him to do a little less backyard. They come back the next following weeks, now they have a run game that works. They come back the next following weeks, now they have a good deep passing game that relies a lot more on run yards after catch. So things have changed a little bit for Fleming Island. They look sharper, they look better.
Creekside with a chance to answer here. Aschenfelder will come back out. And they'll give to Garrette. Garrette finds that edge, and he runs past the first down marker, and that's another solid run for Garrette. He's been really carrying the load tonight for the Knights.
Yeah, it's been chunk run after chunk run. It's the inability to tackle on the edge here. You're looking at your linebackers that are so used to being able to fill gaps in between the tackles that they're missing the outside assignments and relying on their safeties to make tackles on the edge.
As far as Creekside is concerned, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 1st and 10. They'll give to Garrette again on the left side. He finds another hole, still squirts up, and another first down for Creekside. But we have a penalty flag on the near sideline there at the 40-yard line, and this one may be coming back.
Getting a little too exotic with the blitz packages here for Fleming Island. He had Keofi coming off the edge there, and he was away from the play. And you want your run-stuffing, tackling linebacker to be able to play pretty freely.
So they'll get 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And we've got our second quarter water break here. It comes at 6:18 to go in this first half. Again, happy you're joining us tonight on Sunshine State Broadcasting, your local community broadcaster. Find us again on the web at ssbjacks.com, on Facebook and X at ssbjacks, and on Instagram and Threads at ssb.jacks. Our whole team out tonight. Our own military veteran himself, Garrette Binford, on the camera tonight on Military Appreciation Night. We definitely appreciate his work on the camera and his service to our country. We also want to give thanks to all of our service members, past and present, for their commitment to the service and defense of our freedom. For those who have served and those who will serve, we thank you on behalf of the staff here at Sunshine State Broadcasting. Producer, director Courtney Wallace, Aaron Belchamber on the other camera there. My partner in crime, David Wells, doing our thing on Friday night. What a gorgeous evening it has been here at Fleming Island. Got a heck of a ball game tonight. 6:18 to go in this first half. Creekside will reset after the penalty. Ball sits at the 30-yard line, 1st and 20. Slide a receiver in motion. That's Aaron Soteros. Quick flare out. That's caught. Get a couple of the penalty yards back. Get down to about the 35-yard line. Creekside has sort of had their business set on the run game for a little while. It's the first underneath pass we've seen in a couple of plays. Gets about 5 yards of the penalty back, 2nd and 15.
It's this death by a thousand punches look for Creekside. They're finding ways to run the ball and making sure they get to the second level. They're finding ways to throw the ball and complete underneath passes, forcing safeties to come up and make tackles. It's really one shot after the next.
2nd down. Flares it out. That's caught and breaks through the tacklers. Gets to about the 45-yard line. Again, that's Eros Topher with another good catch. Makes it a 3rd down and manageable.
I feel like we've had to see David Smith, Sebastian Cruz. We've had to see David Fuentes make tackles and try to come up and make plays that really aren't theirs. It's supposed to be for the linebacker, supposed to be for the defensive end, but there's busted assignments, and it has to go to the 3rd level.
3rd and 5. Under 5 minutes to go here in the half. They'll give it. Garrette puts a foot in the ground. He bounces around, gets a 1st down, crosses the 40, ends up getting tackled by Sebastian Cruz, who likely saved a touchdown. And that is a massive run. Garrette really has found his stride.
Yeah, that's a midline run. Maybe it's a boundary side midline run, but that's still the responsibility of the interior defensive lineman to try to stifle those plays and allow your linebackers to come up and make plays.
4:40 and counting to go here in the second quarter in a 24-14 ball game. Fleming Island with a 10-point lead. Get a snap. Garrette on the right side finds another hole, tries to run behind a blocker, scampers around. Boy, that low center of gravity is what's giving him yardage at all, because otherwise a bigger man gets stuck, and he might have gotten 4 yards on the play. We'll get the spot in a second, but he is running his butt off tonight.
I think he just ran over his own offensive lineman. He just gave an offensive lineman of his own team just the cold shoulder, launched him about 3 or 4 yards forward.
Get out of my way, big man. I got work to do. And 2nd down. 4 minutes to go here in the half. We get a snap. They're going to give it to him again. Why not? This time a little bit better tackling there, and they're going to get maybe a yard or two. Nate Van Hoffen on that tackle.
So I'm really liking this bunch look that Creekside's putting up here. They're doing 3 receivers tight to the line of scrimmage. One is actually a tight end, and they're all physical, capable blockers, and they're using this look to be able to run the ball. It's like you're having a full stacked box, and Fleming Island's still going to play 2 deep safeties to it.
Looks like they have Parker Heron coming in now to sub in for Garrette. Look at a snap, fumble the snap. That one hits the turf, and Creekside lucky to come back with that one. Aschenfelder drops on the ball and saves it, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, pinball situation there. That ball probably hit 4 different people before it got landed on by the quarterback, the original person that fumbled the ball.
Garrette comes back into the game. Creekside down 10 points, kind of in no man's land right now. Don't want to punt. You've already played your card showing the fake, probably just out of field goal range here, so Creekside will line up 4th and 8, ball sitting at the 36-yard line. They need to get to the 28-yard line. Aschenfelder rolls out, finds a man, trying to go to single coverage. That is tipped and incomplete. And Fleming Island on the defense shuts it down. Sebastian Cruz back there. Also, I called it, Chase Donaldson, another hand on a football. I'm telling you, he's going to come up with one at some point.
Well, at that point, it was absolute desperation. That was the only option the quarterback had. He could not take off to try to run to get the first down. And if he tries to come up short or throw something shorter, it's just going to be a turnover anyway. So you might as well take your chances and heave one deep. You're hoping it might even be intercepted because that'll give you more favorable field position. But, you know, that throw is actually pretty spot on. A great play defensively by Fleming Island to disrupt that pass.
Fleming Island takes over at the 36-yard line, leading 24-14 here with 2:34 to go in the first half. Here on Military Appreciation Nights at Randy Warren Stadium. Appreciate you joining us tonight on Sunshine State Broadcasting, your local community broadcaster. Broughton will come out with 4 wide receivers. He'll have trips to his right. He'll get a snap, throw it into the flat there to Bernie, who finds his way through tacklers. Oh my goodness, he's doing that all night long. He'll pick up 9 on the play.
So you finally catch him in a blitz that makes that tunnel screen work a little bit better. It's a zone coverage too, so there's nobody chasing Bernie directly into it. He finds a way to shimmy his way up for this 2nd and 1.
Trace Bernie has been all over the field tonight. I've lost count of how many catches he's had, but he does have 3 touchdown passes tonight.
And big football fans know 2nd and 1 is ideal shot play territory.
Stack the receivers on each end of the formation. Broughton will give to Digman. Runs across for the first down. That's what he does best. Just gets the yards he needs, moves the sticks, and that will be a Fleming Island first down.
That's time to step on the gas here, bring a little bit of tempo, go between plays here, get your call in, and go.
Everybody's got timeouts right now, minute 51 and counting.
With the run for a Fleming Island first down.
Try to get everybody organized here. Tristan Stevenson is going to come up into the near side. Broughton holds up. Got Eric Gentry in a slot formation. Bernie on the slot to the near side. Oliver Pachata out on the far boundary. Clock running down, 1:25 and counting here. Broughton taking his time. Play clock starting to wind down. We get a snap. Good protection. Broughton has a chance to scan. Pressure breaks down. Broughton's got to turn upfield. Can't quite do it. Tice Donnelly, the senior, back for Creekside, chasing Broughton down, forces him to roll. He'll actually lose a yard or 2 on the play. Clock stops with 1:09 left. Going to call it a 4-yard loss on that one. Spot him back at the 46-yard line. It's Creekside's first aggressive pressure on the evening. Broughton get a snap, drops back, pocket holds, tries to step up, can't. Finds a man wide open way back there. Eric Gentry is going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. Eric Gentry playing center field for Fleming Island, and another touchdown pass, a worldwide automotive shot from Sebastian Broughton to number 16.
Absolutely reminiscent of what happened in the first quarter, a broken coverage there. Nobody finds him deep. Sebastian Broughton survives just long enough to say, oh, wow, there's a green jersey way down there. Throws it deep, Nice completion, easy score.
You'll take that every day of the week. Comes at 56 seconds to go in the first half. Parker Sertivan will line up for the extra point. Good snap out of the hold of Broughton. Kick is up, and that is good. Fleming Island extends their lead. Our new score, 31-14. The Golden Eagles have a commanding lead over Creekside.
31-14.
Trace Burney has been the feature this evening, but Eric Gentry getting a little love, playing center field way back out on an island, catches that and scampers all the way in for a touchdown.
Absolutely. You're looking at the future of Fleming Island football there. Whether he plays quarterback, whether he ends up being in a role in the wide receiver here, you know that Gentry's going to be involved with this program in the future as one of their brighter spots.
And if you're the Golden Eagles right now, you're feeling really good about going into the half with a lead like this against a team who you've slugged it out with in the past. This has got to feel pretty good.
Now in this situation, you got 56 seconds left. You want to kick this ball in the field of play. That's if your coverage team knows you're doing that and you know exactly where you're trying to put the ball. But it's an opportunity to take off some of the time off the clock and allow Creekside to have less time to operate.
Sertivan approaches the ball, strikes toe to leather, and he'll send that just into the end zone for the touchback. And once again, Sean Aschenfelder will come out for the Creekside Knights at the 20-yard line. 3 timeouts in his pocket, a chance to maybe drive downfield, get some points on the board before you go to the half. And if you're Creekside, that's mission 1 right now. And you had some success against Fleming Island's defense.
I imagine you're going to play pretty conservative here. You've had some struggles throwing the ball down the field in the first quarter, and if you throw the ball and press it too much here, you might give Fleming Island another opportunity to score, and that is not what you want if you're the Knights right now. They are going to line up in this spread look, though, and they are going to go into the pistol formation. They have thrown out of this look in the first quarter.
And we have a penalty on the flag there.
Delay a game coming out of the break.
Not a good sign.
Counting too many on defense.
That's not what you want to start out with, giving free yards to Creekside on that one.
So when Trace Burney comes on the field, a defensive lineman has to come off of the field. Trace Burney is playing as a third, even fourth safety now for Fleming Island in an all-out conservative effort.
Aiden Emanuel had to be the one who trots off the field, and I'm sure he'll hear about that later. So 1st and 5 now. He'll get a snap, steps up into the pocket, throws out into the flat. That is incomplete, and that did not look like a throw he was comfortable making.
And to be honest, you would like that to be incomplete. You cannot make that throw and complete that in the middle of the field and falls down for 3 yards. That's a waste of time there. That rolled the clock and potentially even have to send you into halftime.
2nd down and 5, ball sitting at the 25-yard line.
And Trace Burney will be about 25, 30 yards deep, looking for the deepest man, trying to find his ideal matchup and lock him away.
Get a snap, they give to Garrette. Garrette scampers around, gets another first down, tries to put a foot in the turf and then stumbles, but he will get a first down. That'll stop the clock temporarily at 43 seconds.
That is the first time I've seen somebody stumble on this turf. This turf's held up remarkably well this game and every game, so not going to blame that one too much on the footing. Just got to keep your feet about you, guy.
1st and 10 regardless. Flare it out, that's caught, and he'll get out of bounds just shy of the 45, spot him right out the 44-yard line.
Nice play, get a couple yards, stop the clock.
Jake Gutnecht, the junior tight end on that catch.
Now they're going to go conservatively here. They take Burney off the field and go back to their base defense. They didn't like the look that they had there, and they want to make sure that in case they run the ball again, they'll have another defensive lineman.
They have Gutnecht listed as a wide receiver, but he's kind of built like a tight end.
Yeah, back in that 4-down look.
2nd down and 3 at 44. And got it. Jarius Rogers finally hits home. He's had a couple of opportunities tonight, and he gets the sack of Sean Aschenfelder. That's his first of the night. Creekside is going to call timeout with 23 seconds, and that's going to bring up 3rd down for the Knights.
Yeah, leaving your high school offensive tackle one-on-one with that guy, good luck. There's too much space, there's too much time, and you got to find a way to convert on that third down, not involving Jarius Rogers.
Bring up 3rd down and 9 as we come to the timeout here. Creekside will take their first charge timeout of the half. They'll have 2 more if they manage to get downfield.
Thanks again to our sponsors and those that help make Fleming Island football and all activities here and athletics.
Looking forward to some halftime guests coming up from the Fleming Island volleyball team. We'll talk about their outstanding season and look ahead to the district tournament. Also, we've put a missive out there. Fleming Island alum and current FAU offensive lineman Braden Cunningham's in the house tonight. See if we can get him to come up and talk to us and tell us a little bit about what D1 ball is like.
Absolutely. See how FAU's doing, take a look and see what it's like to be in college athletics as a Fleming Island Golden Eagle transitioning to that college football lifestyle.
Always happy to see him, and he faithfully watches our broadcasts on Friday nights, supporting his alma mater. We appreciate him doing so. There's a couple of Fleming Island alums that are watching us that are playing football in the area. Aschenfelder will flare this out over the middle. Rocco Ripa, if I'm the head coach over there at Creekside, I probably want to have a conversation with Rocco on that one and say, are you good? Head coach Sean McIntyre may
This is the number of drops, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's too many balls that have hit the ground here. There's too many opportunities from number 5 here for Creekside, dropping the ball and preventing his team from converting manageable third downs.
Because he's been wide open on several plays and just hasn't been able to grab the ball and run with it. So 4th down, Cruz deep, sitting at his 30. 18 seconds to go here in the half. Cruz will let that sail over his head, and it'll take a Creekside bounce past the 20. And inside the 15-yard line is where that will get spotted. 6 seconds on the clock. I imagine Fleming Island will just get in victory here and take a knee, call it a half.
Well, I don't know how closely the next opponent's going to watch Fleming Island's film, but that was a pretty interesting little play there. That was Sebastian Cruz faking like the punt was going off to the right, while Trace Burney was supposed to be running back up the sideline on the left, i.e. the Los Angeles Rams, at the time the St. Louis Rams, making a very excellent return down the sideline. So a trick play on special teams that didn't go as according to plan, but I'm sure you'll see again at some point this season.
I wouldn't doubt it. So Fleming Island will just take a knee here. And Sebastian Broughton puts one down on the turf, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. After 24 minutes here at Randy Warren Stadium, Fleming Island 31, Creekside 14. When we come back, we'll have Fleming Island volleyball to talk about. Also, we'll have a conversation with the one, the only Braden Cunningham. Let's take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have our halftime festivities. You're watching Friday Night Lights on SSB, and we will be back in just a moment.
Having served Clay County for 18 years, Worldwide Automotive is bringing back the neighborhood repair facility with fair and honest pricing. It's why Worldwide Automotive's motto is car repair with care. Worldwide Automotive provides old-fashioned customer-centered service in an environment that is friendly and welcoming. Servicing domestic and European cars, Worldwide Automotive is offering $25 off to anyone who mentions this ad. And that's for any service. There's no need to go to the dealer for your 30, 60, 90, or 120-mile services. They offer same-day service and will handle your requirements for oil changes, belts, tire rotations, air conditioning, brake flushes, transmission services, and tune-ups. Come by and say hi to owners Joe and Valerie and see why they say their customers are family. Worldwide Automotive is located at 2490 County Road 220. For more information, go to worldwide-automotive.com.
We're at halftime right here at Randy Warren Stadium on Military Appreciation Night. BP on the call with David Wells here. We've got a 31-14 ball game, and right behind me over here is a guy who's very familiar with this turf, Mr. Braden Cunningham.
Yes, sir.
Playing offensive line now at Florida Atlantic University. Dude, winning in paradise, man.
Oh, yeah.
How's life down in Boca?
It's great. It's a beautiful area. It's kind of crazy. Like it's definitely a change from here, but it's a good change for sure. Great people.
Yeah. So how have you integrated into their program? And you come from Fleming Island here. Now you're at an FBS school.
Yeah.
You know, lots more attention than you saw here.
Yeah.
So how's that transition been for you?
It's definitely different. You know, you always hear people coming from high school to the next level that the speed is different, and that is definitely true. It's an adjustment. I'm just trying to bring my mentality that I had here, bring it to the FAU. I'm just work hard, get better every day, try to make my way to the lineup as quick as possible.
It's probably nice to not have to play both sides of the ball, though.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, that's really
you,
nice.
You did a lot of
For sure.
defensive
Yeah.
side of the ball stuff, too,
Yes, sir.
which is really cool to do. So what is the thing that you like the most about being down in South Florida right now? I mean, obviously it's a little bit of a change from Jacksonville area and stuff like that. So what's been your favorite part about being down there?
Man, it's hard to say. There's so much out there. There really is great people down there. I love the people down there. That's one of the big reasons I committed there and that I went here. But yeah, I love the people down there, the coaching staff, the players, just the people around the area. They're great people.
Yeah, so probably a bit of a culture shock too. You know, you go from the high school level, go to the bigger colleges now, so you're seeing a lot of different things. So, what's a typical day like for a D1 athlete now? I know we've seen people talk about this, but you know, you've got alumni and some maybe current students that'll come back and watch this later. So, talk us a little bit about what your days are like down there on the football team.
So on a normal day, we'll say it's a Monday. I'll wake up about 5:50. I'll get ready. We go eat breakfast in the morning, and then we'll get dressed. Mondays we'll have lifts, so we'll have meetings, and then we'll lift right after. And then right after lifts, we'll have about 15 minutes to get changed and go out to practice. And then for practice will be about 2 hours. Then after that, we get ready for, I have class, so you get ready for class. And yeah, that's a typical day. After that, if you don't have any homework, go hang out with some friends, some teammates. But other than that, there's not a lot of time, which is a good thing. I like it. I enjoy it. Always staying busy, so it's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if I'm not mistaken, FIU was a victim of an FAU win this year.
Yeah.
That's a big rivalry for
yeah.
you guys down there. So,
Yeah.
how does that compare to some of the county rivalries that you faced here with Clay and Orange Park, Oakleaf, all that? How does that feel?
The building that week, it felt a lot different than other weeks. Obviously, every week it's the same mentality, but that week just felt different. It's like a Clay week or Oakleaf week, like you said. The tension's just high. You want to win every game, but you really want to win that game. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, man, it's been really good to see you. I know
Yes,
we've
sir.
seen you in the live chat,
yeah.
watching the broadcast
For sure,
and
yep.
supporting it.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, and we're really glad to see you come up for Military Appreciation Night.
sir, I appreciate
hopefully,
y'all.
we'll see these guys in the playoffs.
yeah.
They're looking real good this
Hopefully,
year.
yep.
I know they did some things that you didn't get a chance to win
Yeah.
district games. So
Yeah.
those are always tough. But
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still out here supporting it, and we
yeah, for
appreciate
sure.
your dad
Yep.
and all of his support for our broadcast.
Yes,
and
sir.
looking forward to big things for you, man.
I appreciate
Whatever you do,
y'all.
don't be hitting the portal anytime soon.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yes,
stay at
sir.
home.
Yes,
We'd
sir.
love to see you. Braden Cunningham, Fleming Island alum, and right now playing in paradise at Florida Atlantic University.
Oh, wow.
You can see him there you go. Go ahead and see him laying some heads down there on the line for the Owls down there. When we come back, we'll have some more special guests, some current Fleming Island students and athletes right here on SSB. You stay here.
applause for Lakeside Junior High School, Green Cove Springs Junior High School, and the EBO Band.
Back here, Eagle Band 1 and some junior high bands doing a little performance for us tonight. It is Military Appreciation Night, and I know I've mentioned it earlier on the broadcast. We're going to embarrass the living daylights out of our camera guys here. But Garrette Binford, another person who has served our country really well. The Air Force, correct?
Yes.
Yes, so served in the United States Air Force. And how long were you in?
4.5 years.
4.5 years. So, but any length of service is important because anybody who takes that opportunity to volunteer and serve our nation's country right now is, in the defense of that freedom. That's a big deal. So what all did you do in the Air Force?
So when I entered the Air Force, I entered as a TAC-P trainee. So they categorize under the Air Force Special Operations branch, but basically they train to operate with Army and Marine units to call in airstrikes. I did that for about 3 or 4 months after basic training, and I broke both my legs, so I had to retrain. So they swapped me into a different job called aerospace propulsion, and so that job, basically, I work on F-15 engines and make the flames shoot out the back of the jet to make it go up and fast.
Absolutely. So I've been close enough to 15s and 16s at Tyndall Air Force Base.
Yep.
And we were flying in a little Piper Cherokee. And just the massive power, the raw power, and the rapid climb, straight up from the runway is it's an amazing thing. So, and we're blessed to have Garrette on our team. He does some great work on the camera. Aaron doing some fantastic work as well, but he's our resident service member there, and David giving him some love on Military Appreciation Night, and we are blessed to have all of our servicemen and women that are here in attendance tonight and celebrating this momentous occasion. Garrette, we thank you for your service. Thank you for helping us at SSB, continuing the tradition here.
Absolutely.
We're going to go back to some more halftime festivities, and when we come back, who knows who'll come up next and join us in the booth at halftime. It's been a busy place tonight on SSB. 31-14, Creekside down to Fleming Island. Halftime. We'll have more third quarter action coming for you in a little bit. Dave and I will get a quick recap. Whoops, there's a wire there. When we come back here on SSB. Don't move. Back here at the half, just before the start of the third quarter, BP alongside David Wells. Had a pretty good first half. That first quarter lasted a little longer than we wanted to, but things kind of picked up just a little bit here. 31-14 right now, Fleming Island with a lead over Creekside. David, what do you like so far about Fleming Island's offense?
Well, it's getting clicking back, that run-after-catch threat of the Fleming Island Golden Eagles. There were 2 busted plays in coverage, so if we take those plays away, it's actually a pretty tight ball game here. So I want to see them continue to improve in that area. The only real receiver that I see take those plays, catch and run with the ball is Bernie. You're going to need more than one of those threats when it comes to the bigger games and matchups, because at the next level, and especially in the more competitive teams here in Jacksonville, they can take a safety over the top and take that run after catch threat away. So it's developing different layers to your offense. It's what we need to see in the second half. But you did a really good job of that in the first half. Sebastian Broughton found a couple options deeper down the field, and that passing game's really asserted itself.
Creekside went for a fake punt that turned into a massive gain, tacked on a penalty. That led to a touchdown, and that's why we're sitting at 31-14 right now. And Harrison Garrette, really for Creekside, has been running hard and getting several extra yard plays that have kept Creekside moving, but they've been stalled right about midfield and haven't been able to convert much further than that. Fleming Island playing a break but don't bend defense right now, or bend don't break defense, I should say, and locking this down. But I think Creekside may be a couple of really good run plays away from tearing that wide open and making this a closer game.
So they've been running that good old-fashioned stretch play to the outside, so a glorified version of student body right. And they've also been running weak side zone and quarterback power. Those 3 plays have been their successful drive starters and the things that have been the catalyst for them to get things going. You want to see them be able to establish the line of scrimmage, because if there's any part of the Fleming Island defense they struggle in, it's their 2 defensive tackles as well as their secondary players coming to make tackles. So if you can get past that first level into the secondary, that's a winning formula for Creekside.
Absolutely. We want to give our special thanks to Braden Cunningham for stopping by at the half to share a little bit about what he's been doing down there at Florida Atlantic, and looking forward to seeing him do big things in Division I football. And
yeah, let's go Owls.
Lots of celebration down there. Yeah, and they did get that huge win over FIU. It's always good to get a win over an in-state rival.
Did you see that they also had the boom guys from Costco?
Yes.
Thought that was particularly funny. So
that was really good.
The FIU's got Pitbull, they got Costco, so
yes.
that's how it is.
I don't know. Costco, 50-50, man. I mean, I think they make really good danishes, actually. It's pretty good pastries if you're into it. But we're so happy that you're with us tonight on SSB Jacks as we get back out to halftime action completing and the third quarter getting underway here. We're really excited that you are here tonight. SSBJacks.com. Of course, we've got PA back here letting everybody know that you can watch this game on replay on our YouTube channel. You can always find us there, youtube.com/@Sunshine State Broadcasting, and you can check out some of our highlights. We also have a couple of those highlights out there for you on social media. Look up our Instagram and Facebook channels and find us there as well. Make sure that you are following and subscribing to that YouTube channel so you can hang on and see all of our updates. Check out our remaining schedule on the website. Got a Thursday night game for you next week. Beachside comes to Fleming Island. It's a massive district contest, David. That one can't be understated. We thought Ponte Vedra was going to be the district title game. Now we're looking at maybe Beachside Fleming, and maybe Fleming Middleburg might be more like the district title games.
Down the stretch games, making sure that they're big opportunities, continuing momentum for Fleming Island. There's no cupcake games at the end of the year that might not count. Every single one down the stretch here is going to be a big one.
Absolutely. So we've got Beachside Fleming coming up, and then we're going to go back for one more trip to our favorite concession stand in all of North Florida. One more run to Orange Park before we figure out where those district finales are going to be, who's really going to take it. And then we close our season in the first week of November with yet a final trip to Courtney Stadium for Clay and Orange Park. We started with a county rivalry. We're going to end with one this season. We're looking forward to doing that as well, and get you the empanadas. I highly recommend that.
Come hell or high water, I'm going to hit the Raider Band concession stand.
Gots to do it. All right, enough of our pretty faces. Let's get back out to the field. We've got football to watch right here on Sunshine State Broadcasting. Happy you're joining us tonight. Fleming Island will start with the ball this quarter.
So no warm-up for the Creekside Knights. They're a little late getting onto the field there and really struggled to make sure they had everything that they needed.
Bernie will field that just at the goal line. He shakes, comes around, finds a couple of holes and then gets across the 20-yard line to the 25, where he will set up the Fleming Island offense. Trace Burney tonight, 3 touchdown receptions. Eric Gentry with the 4th. Parker Sertivan kicked a field goal. And here we stand at 31-14, Fleming Island.
So just to go over some of the drive summaries for Creekside. In the first quarter, they had a punt on that first drive through an interception, but have come back pretty strong, scoring a touchdown on their 3rd drive. In the 2nd quarter, scoring a touchdown, and then eventually hitting their a little bit of a speed bump with their turnover on downs and punt. For Fleming Island, they were coming out pretty hot. They had a touchdown on the opening drive, but then missed a field goal, eventually converting a field goal, turning it on in the 2nd quarter for 3 straight touchdown drives.
Sebastian Broughton comes out to start the half. First down from the 25. He'll give to Brady Digman, who finds a bit of a hole. A little daylight for him. He'll get about 6 yards on the play. Again, Demir Jackson, last week's Jacksonville Sharks Player of the Week, unavailable tonight in street clothes.
And again, we want to remind everybody that Sebastian Broughton is eligible for the Jacksonville area through week 6 Player of the Year. And if you can vote on Jacksonville.com for that, Sebastian Broughton is going to be eligible to receive votes for that distinction. And we urge all of you to visit that website and participate for the Fleming Island Golden Eagle.
4 wide receivers now on 2nd and 4 from the 26. Give it to Digman again. He'll find a Creekside defender this time and then bounces out of it. Manages to get maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. Actually, they're going to say he lost a yard. So it brings up 3rd down and 5.
And onto the field comes Sebastian Cruz to play running back, more of a safety and special teamer for this team. But we saw earlier in the year Sebastian Cruz have the ability to contribute as a runner. He is going to be also a Division I recruit to play defensive back.
He's going to line up in the pistol. Again, a proficient runner. He'll come up sidecar now. Broughton will have trips to the right, and this is going to be a timeout. It looks like they may have called that timeout to avoid the penalty. That'll be Fleming Island's first of this half. Comes at 10:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. So a little bit of confusion on that one. It looks like the play was starting before center was ready to snap, and as a result, we got a timeout on the play.
Yeah, a lot of communication coming out there. This was definitely the goal coming out of half, was to get different players involved in the backfield, but not being able to line up quick enough, trying to deal with these substitutions. It eventually caught up to him, and these these second half timeouts are significantly more valuable than first half timeouts. So hopefully this lead is continuing on for Fleming Island, or else that might come back to haunt them.
Got a couple of scores for you from around District 3 in the Surf and Turf Bowl over there at Tecoy Creek. Beachside is leading in the half, 22-19. Elsewhere in the area, in the 3rd quarter right now, 1-4 Westside leading 1-5 Orange Park, 7-6. Have some more scores for you from around the Jacksonville area in just a moment. This time we'll give it to Cruz, who manages to get upfield rather quickly. It does not get enough for the first down.
Now that is just a speed-only running style. He is just trying to get to the 2nd level as fast as possible, and in fact turns his back to the defense. If he lowers his pad level and drives his legs there, he has an opportunity for a first down, but not a position he's very used to playing. So the finer points of running back is probably not something that's been drilled too much into Sebastian Cruz.
Grab a couple of other scores around the area while we have a chance. Stanton defeated Wolfson 16-8. 4th quarter score right now between Mandarin and Rockledge. The Mustangs are leading 18-7. Mount Dora is leading Matanzas 22-0. Oak Hall leading Interlochen 28-14. Providence leading Impact Christian Academy 28-12. Riverside and Trinity Christian right now in the 3rd quarter. They're tied up at 14 apiece. That's a punt back. That's going to be received and fair caught And Creekside will take over on offense.
Again, such an oddity to see a gunner be a defensive end. That's Jarius Rogers that was able to fly down the field so quickly there to force what could have been a returnable punt to be a fair catch.
Well,
the scores around the area. This is listed as being in the first quarter, but I imagine it's behind here. Fletcher and Palm Coast reporting in as tied right now, 7 apiece. Bradford leading Palatka at the half, 14-0. And that's a look at the scores around the Jacksonville area.
So fresh off some running back carries, Sebastian Cruz will be the deep safety towards the bottom of your screen.
Throws over the middle. That is caught. Eros Tolfer, been a sure-handed receiver for Creekside tonight.
So that was them coming back to that middle of the field play there. However, Fleming Island was in man coverage and was able to quickly get on that ball.
Brings up second down and about 4.
That might be a strategic update for Fleming Island's switch to man-to-man.
Harrison Garrido comes around. He'll pick up another first down, it looks like, at to the 40-yard line, and that's indeed what they will give him.
Back to that stretch play, just really trying to pin the defensive end down and run to the perimeter there, putting a lot of pressure on Nate Van Hoff and Jarius Rogers to be able to shed double teams, not something defensive ends are very often asked to do.
And if you can set the edge really well on a play like that, your running backs will go all over the place. They'll fake it to Garrido this time and throws it deep. That is caught, and that is Aaron Soteros with another reception across the Fleming Island 40-yard line for another Creekside first down.
I mean, has every throw been perfect? No, but these deeper shots, especially to his left side, have been spot on. So he's able to really throw the ball well down in that side of the field. And if I'm Fleming Island, I'm knowing that left side pass, that deeper down the field pass is coming.
Spot him at the 41-yard line. They'll give it to Garrido, who gets to the 41-yard line, and that is it.
Yeah, a lot of quarterbacks have more comfortability throwing to their left side because their shoulders are already turned and pointed there, and they're able to drive their hips through on those throws. So the left side pass is a little easier for this quarterback right now.
Call it no gain on the play, second down. Coming up on 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. 31-14, Fleming Island. Fake to Garrido, throw it, that's caught. And again, Caleb Taylor Birch with a reception. That's going to be enough for another Creekside first down, and the Knights are marching on this drive.
Caleb Taylor Birch, number 6, for a Creekside first down.
Get across the 30-yard line to about the 27. Right at the 8-minute mark, first down and 10, Creekside. Aschenfelder gives to Garrido, who follows up the middle, breaks a tackle, powers shoulder, and Harrison Garrido is ridiculous. I cannot believe the cold shoulder he just gave and plows into the end zone for a Creekside touchdown. Tough running by the little guy, an undersized running back laying shoulders down on linebackers.
It's the counter punch to the stretch play is the weak side zone. The weak side zone is when everybody's flowing to the right because they see play after play after play, you're running to the strong side, all of a sudden you pop it over to the other and you're getting to that second level. And as we said in that pregame show, if you get to the second level on this Fleming Island defense, they're struggling to tackle and tackle consistently.
A worldwide automotive touchdown on the ground for the Creekside Knights, and our new score with 7:41 to go in the third quarter. Fleming Island 31, Creekside 21. They've cut the deficit to 10 and have made this a game, David. You know, you said it. You were excited about a ball game. I think we might get one now after a drive like that.
And the running game has been the catalyst for Creekside. It is their best hope of scoring on offense right now. They have a short passing game that they're relying upon coverage to be successful at all. But this running game seems like it's working no matter what Fleming Island's trying to do.
I want to thank our sponsors once more. I want to thank First Baptist Church of Orange.
Solid drive to start the half for Creekside. Fleming Island punted on their first possession. Rare stop. Fleming Island has not done a lot of that tonight. They've been moving the ball, a lot of chunk plays this evening on offense. But on the other side of the ball, Harrison Garrido has put this game on his shoulders and has found them some sort of offense. Sebastian Cruz. I'm sorry, that is not Sebastian Cruz. Trace Burney is back deep.
That's to Corey Allen next to him.
to Corey Allen. First time we've seen him in special teams. That'll sail over Bernie's head into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, you might as well save Sebastian Cruz the rep. They're kicking this one out of the back of the end zone.
Corey Allen also another sure-handed person on special teams. Again, happy you're with us tonight on this gorgeous evening. A little breeze kicking up here in the wind. But it's very pleasant outside. Actually starting to feel a little bit like fall this evening.
So they are going to give Sebastian Cruz a breather here. He just had a good defensive stand. He's going to have a couple plays off and then likely back in on offense.
Dingman back in at running back. You'll have Gentry and Oliver Pachata on the near side.
I have one-on-one coverage here to the bottom of your screen. They're going to try to play a bit more conservatively over Bernie, but that leaves opportunities for other players.
Broughton will get a snap, flares it out quick, does that slant. Bernie with a sure-handed grab.
Yeah, they have 3 players flying to Bernie. They want to make sure they take away that option and still have the ball completed.
Snap was a little slow, but Broughton adjusted to it and fired that right into Bernie's hands. Very accurate throw, I might add. 2nd down and 4 after a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, they're having an underneath defender and over-the-top defender on Bernie.
And that is probably a wise decision at this point.
Pretty good way to eliminate run after catch plays.
We give it to Dingman, who scampers by a defender, and that's another solid run. It's the first time he's broken out into the secondary, and that's enough for a 1st down.
A good answer to that. You know, in order to double a receiver on the outside, you have to take somebody out of the box. You take somebody out of the box, you should be able to run the ball.
Get the ball to the 35-yard line.
Going back to that quads formation to the right.
And they've run tunnel screen out of that a couple of times. They've also run that slant out of it too. 6:40 to go in the 3rd. Broughton alone in the backfield. Fights his pressure, caught, that's Pachata. Tries to bounce around, crosses the 45-yard line.
A bit of an over-rotation there for Creekside. They put 5 defensive backs over there to try to cover the 4 receivers, and that's going to leave a one-on-one opportunity on the backside there. Off coverage, you'll take that hitch all day.
Spot the ball at the 46-yard line of Fleming Island at the 6:23 mark.
You'll still have that one-on-one here, but it will be press man.
Braun will get a snap. Throws it, slings it out there. Had Gentry off his hands, incomplete. A little behind him.
Incomplete, 2nd down, coming up.
And
Pressure in the backfield.
that's a pretty difficult half-field read. To do 4 wide receivers, have all that going on, and only have a half a field to operate in, very difficult for the quarterback to find the open lane.
So they'll take the mandatory water timeout here at 6:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. Fleming Island 31, Creekside 21. It's been a game largely dominated by Fleming Island tonight. Creekside's marched a little bit of a drive. Hey, it's a 4-quarter game, man, so anything could happen as we get into this second half. Happy you're joining us tonight on SSB. No Demir Jackson tonight, but it's really not been much of an issue for the Golden Eagles. They have done very well with Trace Burney running all over the field. Deep pass to Eric Gentry. Also a touchdown. A couple of options being used tonight. But the running back has been kind of the question, really.
And it's giving Digman more opportunity and experience to grow into this role. I'm sure it's something that he's going to have to do a lot more next season. And things like this matter as long as you build upon them from one year to the next.
So we'll reset here after the water timeout. 2nd and 10 from the 46. 6:14 to go in this 3rd quarter. He'll fake it to Digman, actually. Throws it out to Burney across the middle again. And Burney's got 1, 2, 3, 4 Creekside defenders, one of which he just juked out of his shoes and crosses the 30-yard line.
Now, these offensive linemen need to realize that it's an RPO. They cannot go more than 4 yards down the field. There was an offensive lineman 7 yards down the field on that, and they're very lucky not to get the illegal man downfield call there. These RPOs are a tricky business. You know, you're trying to hit runs to the interior, and the offensive linemen are full go run. but they have to be aware of what the play call is, and they could be a throw at any point.
Got to play disciplined on the line here. We've said that off and on this season with Fleming Island's offense. His offensive line discipline is key, especially with a highly mobile quarterback. Broughton will roll out, steps up. He's got a holding call downfield, and Broughton is going to get sacked. But he says it might be on Creekside. Might have been some contact downfield. We'll get the call. For right now, it's recorded as a Creekside sack, first of the night. Some discussion here. And it looks like we'll have a call. The defensive holding the call. The sack gets wiped out. Broughton seemed to know it immediately as he saw the flag downfield, didn't mind taking the lick. But even still, you don't really want your quarterback to get hung out to dry like that.
Holding penalty on Creekside moves Fleming Island into the Mr. Chubby's.
So that moves it all the way down to the 20-yard line, and yet another red zone trip for the Golden Eagles. Comes at 5:56 to go in the third. Getting a call from the side. Broughton get a snap. Gives to Digman. Gets maybe a yard on the play. About the 19. Second down and 9.
As far as the physicality of the offensive line play, I think that edge might be going towards Creekside on this one. You know, Digman is actually playing pretty well, and he's doing his best to try to run up the middle here, as it looks like he's holding that arm a little bit funny as he's jogging off the sideline here.
So Sebastian Cruz will come in now. Broughton drops back. Good pocket. Got a receiver. Guess who? Trace Burney once again in the middle of the end zone for another Worldwide Automotive touchdown. That's 3 on the night. Actually, that's 4. Five touchdown passes for Sebastian Broughton.
Oh yeah, he has one to Gentry, one to it would be Reese Sanders, and then also that'll be the third
Damiano
over.
DeSteno, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've lost count. There's been so many touchdowns.
Oh, it's
today.
just an aerial attack.
3 for Burney, 1 for DeSteno, 1 for Gentry. Parker Sertiman's kick is up and good. 5:09 to go in the third. Fleming Island 38 and Creekside 21. Yeah, the air raid has been a thing tonight, David.
Well, that's the reason why that first quarter had taken a little bit longer. These offenses like to throw the ball so much, and if they're struggling to throw the ball, the game really extends out significantly. But these teams have hit their stride, whether it's Creekside deciding to go to more of a run-heavy approach, or whether it's Fleming Island really starting to air it out and complete what I would say is not very high percentage throws, but accurate throws down the field. You need a higher caliber of quarterback to make these kind of throws, elevating that ball right over the linebacker and fast enough between safeties. A phenomenal job by Fleming Island and a highlight of one of their best players, Trace Burney, tonight.
Absolutely. We're going to have plenty of highlights tonight of Broughton throwing to Burney. That is for sure. That has been our connection of the game for certain. And really, this has been the best throwing I've seen Sebastian Broughton have. I mean, this has been a really, really stellar night for him at the quarterback position. He hasn't had to scramble a whole lot in the absence of a running game that they had last week, which was severely dominant. Tonight, he's really settled in and thrown some really good balls.
And it's not just those busted coverages plays. There were 2 scores for him that were pretty significantly easier. However, those gave him the confidence to be able to deliver throws like that here in the end of the second half and into the third quarter.
Yeah, this has definitely been a fantastic night for the passing game for Fleming Island, something that we have been really waiting to see. Got a flag on the play here. Helmets come flying off. We'll get the call.
Flag on the play.
One of the few returnable kicks that Sertiman has sent over there. It was fielded just at the 1-yard line.
Now this will be a little bit of a lighter look for Fleming Island as Kisena and number 55, Howard, are going to be on the field as their defensive tackles. This is more of their B look in the rotation. What they're trying to do is make sure that they're giving enough breather to the rest of the defensive line here. And as long as they're able to contribute with a sense of authority in the middle, Reyes is able to sub in and play those key downs.
That's detrimental. So if you're looking for a reference point, the rule in college football that most of us may know is that if a player's helmet comes off and he's away from the ball at that point, he cannot re-engage with his helmet off. In this case, the rule is the same in high school football. That results in an illegal participation penalty of 15 yards. And on a decent return for Creekside, gets backed up. You can understand how, you get caught in the moment and you want to play on, David, but you still got to know if you ain't got your lid on, you can't go out there and do anything else.
It's a similar rule to hitting the quarterback. You're only allowed 2 snaps after delivery. You're only allowed 2 steps after your helmet comes off to finish your play, or else you have to be done.
Aschenfelder throws, caught. And I think that conversation at the half may have helped. Was that Rocco? Yes, it sure was. It was number 5, Rocco Ripa. He's dropped a couple of passes. This time, wide open in that center area where their zone is softest, and he picks up 9 yards.
A friendly conversation with your wide receivers coach after dropping a couple passes, I would assume.
Friendly conversation that usually involves you're going to run up downs if. They're going to run a speed reverse option here, and Aschenfelder's going to come across. He's got a first down and more, and he runs right into a Fleming Island coach. Oh, dear.
Is that Coach?
Was that Coach Cipoletti? I'm not sure. Oh, my goodness. What a hit. Completely incidental contact. But, oh, my goodness.
The run by number 2, Sean Aschenfelder.
Take one on the chin, guy.
See that man at Chubby's later. I think we need
we
need to give him a beverage of some sort. He earned that tonight. My goodness. Well, hopefully he is okay. That was a wild hit. Sean Aschenfelder, not even intentionally running into somebody with force, just couldn't stop his momentum. They'll give it to Harrison Garrette, who gets another couple of yards, and I'm telling you, this Creekside running game has really stood out to me in this second half.
All right, in comes Reyes to contribute into this defensive line rotation, also playing offensive line. They're trying to limit the amount of two-way players they have on the field here, keep everybody fresh, but this way they have a bigger body in there in the middle.
Second down, just under 4 minutes to go in the third. Quick throw out into the flat, that's caught. Eros Toffer misses a tackle, steps around again. 2 more Golden Eagle defenders try to take him down to Corey Allen. Finally finishes the playoff after a first down for Creekside.
That'll be David Fuentes there on the edge, responsible for that tackle. You know, there's a tough opportunity there where you're looking at the ball, you're looking at the quarterback, and all of a sudden you're just one step away from being in proper position. Always got to keep your eyes on the hips of the opponent.
Creekside goes hurry up here. They give to Garrette on the right side, who finds a big hole, well blocked over the 20, steps, stutters, gets to the 15, and that's some tough running. And another Creekside first down. And the Knights will turn it up further.
It's this bunch formation that they have such good success in. They're able to put 2 guys on the defensive end, create a little bit of forward momentum, and all of a sudden they're, boom, into the secondary. So expect that run to the right again here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Into the red zone they go. We'll give to Garrette, and this time Nate Van Hoff misses the tackle. It's a very rare whiff for him in the backfield, and another Creekside first down. Now it's 1st and goal, and Nate Van Hoff is hurt.
Garrette with the run.
Yeah, they have been running at Nate Van Hoff. They have been physically challenging him all game. You know, it's 2-on-1 over and over and over again. So it's not a surprise that he might be feeling it here. Hopefully this isn't serious.
He's got his hands over his head right now. Looks like he's just gassed. I mean, we call him never not working Nate Van Hoff for a reason. But he is absolutely an animal, and he appears to have just had a tackle in the backfield and just missed it. And he hops up on his feet, and that a boy. He's a heck of a player right now.
Well, he's going to have to sit out for at least one, but good luck keeping him off the field after that.
He's gingerly holding his left leg here, but he's on his feet right now, got up over his own power.
I think they're just beating him up in the middle there, and there's nothing he can do about it. He can give the best effort he possibly can, but when you're having to deal with a fresh body coming in, rotating it at tight end, hitting you play after play after play, it's tough to keep up.
First and goal, Creekside from the 5. 3:24 to go in the third. The Knights have been steadily driving this half.
So a little bit of gamesmanship here. Cohen's going to come up to play defensive end, and they're going to have a backup linebacker, so they're just going to shift around bigger bodies. It's like David Smith's going to slide in to play linebacker.
Quarterback power all the way, finds a hole, and did he break the plane? Yes, he did. And that's a Worldwide Automotive touchdown for Creekside. Sean Aschenfelder gets another rushing touchdown on the night.
And they go right after the light box. They run right at Fleming Island's weakness. It's that interior defensive line game, and after taking Cohen out from linebacker to defensive end, there's no big body in the middle there. So great job of strategic offense there, running the ball with the same 4 plays, but realizing when to hit it and how to hit it.
Line up for the extra point to bring this back to a 10-point game. Kick is up and good. So our new score with 3:19 to go in the third quarter, Fleming Island 28, Creekside, let's say that again, 38-28, Fleming Island with the lead. Right back to that 10-point ball game, David. So punch, counterpunch, punch, counterpunch. This one may come down to a turnover in one direction to set this game off for one team or another here. We've got to pay attention to this next quarter and change here, David.
And one adjustment that Fleming Island has made from their first games into their second and third and fourth and where we are now is that there's not as many players playing both ways. So offense will be fresh despite defense being gassed after that drive.
And this is something that we were worried about with Fleming Island. If you get into situations where you got an offensive team who's on fire and the drive extends, that defense continues to wear down. And I'm not sure if it's just a conditioning issue or whatnot, but I've never really seen a defense just sort of slowly wither like that as drives extends into 10, 11, 12 plays.
I think it's an overall bodies thing. They really only trust about 12 to 13 players playing on defense at a time. So it's going to be a battle of wills, a battle of conditioning, how much did you get your nutritional sleep and support last night. It's going to be big for them to see what they can do, especially in bigger contests when they're going to have to give up a couple long drives and play hard into the fourth quarter. So something to see if the Fleming Island Golden Eagles can improve upon down the stretch.
Sebastian Cruz catches that in the end zone for a touchback, and Sebastian Broughton with the hot hand tonight gets back out on the 20-yard line. 5 touchdown passes this evening for Sebastian Broughton. 3 to Trace Burney, 1 to Eric Gentry, 1 to Damiano DeSteno.
So got to keep an eye on is Reyes, 51. He's the only one that's really having to go both ways right now, but he's going to have a vital role for them as their center here.
Reyes filling in the role of Braden Cunningham. Fantastic center that we had an interview with at halftime. Broughton will fake, roll away from pressure, trying to look for an open man, finally takes it himself, gets to the 25-yard line, maybe about to the 26. And a wise run out of bounds there by the Worm.
Yeah, I don't think he was on the same page with Burney there. He was really trying to get Burney there for a quick completion underneath, but Burney turned up and tried to run upfield. Sebastian did not have enough time for him to develop that down the field throw. Just had to scramble and get rid of it.
It's a positive play regardless to the 25-yard line. 2nd down and 5.
Tight man-to-man coverage here. Looks like a double on Burney as well.
Gotten wise to the scheme of Fleming Island. They've been targeting him more often than usual. They're going to give to Digman on the right side. He runs into traffic and he'll lose a yard.
That is another advantage of tight man-to-man coverage. You have everybody up near the box already, everybody up near the line of scrimmage. Makes those stretch runs to the outside pretty difficult.
Rowan Thompson, the junior, on the tackle.
Now the major disadvantage of man-to-man coverage is, of course, the quarterback run. You could definitely distribute your receivers away from one side of the field and allow for those big plays. And, of course, the deep shot.
3rd down.
Now this looks like a blitz look for Creekside, and they're going to check out of it into that double team again.
Under 2.5 minutes to play in the third. Broughton will get a snap, drops back, good protection, rolls out. Can't find anybody downfield. Now he's just going to throw up an air ball. Eric Gentry has to adjust to it, and he can't catch it. No flag on the play. Looks like there might have been a little contact early, but officials did not see enough, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
Now that is as close to face guarding as you can get. Now in Florida high school football, there's a penalty called face guarding where you don't look at the ball and you still play through the hands of the receiver. Now at the college level, that's an excellent play. At the high school level, you get called for a flag and it's a free 15 yards. Excellent job being patient, waiting for that receiver to touch the ball before you go and knock it out of his hands. Great job by that safety. Ooh, never mind. They're going to call
a
on it.
Defensive hold. So that's going to make it first down, Fleming Island.
And based on the location of that flag, that has nothing to do with the play itself. That's tough.
Away from the ball, holding elsewhere on the field, and Fleming Island gets the move of the sticks, saves the fourth down call. Comes at 2:07 to go in this third quarter. 10-point lead for the Golden Eagles, 38-28.
Now they have a senior DB shadowing Trace Burney wherever he goes, and a safety look just to try to make sure they eliminate those extra run after catch plays. Is there anything else in the passing arsenal of Fleming Island that doesn't involve busted plays and Trace Burney?
Play clock winding down here. Coming up on 5 seconds. You get a snap. Broughton throws on the outside, incomplete. Had Gentry over the middle, right about the 40-yard line, just a little wide.
Now, is Gentry wide open on that play? No, but he is open by Sebastian Broughton standards. The collegiate level, every throw is that tight. He needs to be able to make those.
Second down, ball sitting at the 34-yard line of Fleming Island.
Will be very exciting to see him develop at the next level as a passer. That is his next step, is that rhythm intermediate passing game, and he will be able to do that quite easily. He's just got to be into that system for a long time, get that collegiate level of coaching, and he will be able to be a fantastic collegiate player.
He has made leaps and bounds from junior to senior year, that is for sure. Throws into the flat this time. Pachata with a catch. He's going to get first down yardage across the 45-yard line, and that will be a 1st and 10 for the Golden Eagles. Oliver Pachata, sure-handed, very good at those intermediate routes. Comes at 1:57 to go, right at the 45-yard line.
And he seems to be talking a lot to Gentry. He seems to like the matchup that they have there. It looks like Gentry is going to get a different lineup here, and it looks like it's man-to-man coverage across the board. So whatever Sebastian Broughton said to him, it looks like he's going to have a good look.
Broad take a snap. He's going to run it himself. Steps a foot in the ground. Gets over to the 50. Crosses the 45 of Creekside.
Oh, late hit there.
Just a little bit, but it's the first time that he's popped off, as it were. He's had a couple of glides for some extra yardage, but that's the first time he's actually turned on the accelerator.
Making a couple substitutions here on the offensive side of the ball. We don't have number 18 on our scorecard, but there's a new receiver out there for Fleming Island.
Spot the ball at the 44 of Creekside. 1:30 to go in the third quarter.
We're going to have two safeties deep and a double on Burney. So this looks like it's going to be a very, very light box for Sebastian Broughton.
Everybody to the left of the formation. Try to throw that tunnel screen that was tipped and then bounced off of Gentry. It falls harmlessly to the turf, and that brings up second down. Definitely a busted play.
Now trying to run a tunnel screen versus 3 down linemen and everybody playing conservative, you're trying to ask your offensive lineman to block 4 guys when there's 6 guys out there in the defensive backfield. That's a tough play to call. Now Creekside's going to line up again in that 3 down look. It will be a 4 down look, actually.
Gentry tightens up. They give it to Digman. who finds a hole, and he'll pick up about 7 yards or so. Solid run.
They're trying to very conservatively play this passing game because they've been burned so often. So this run lane should be open for a couple of Digman quick hitters.
Gain of 6 on the play, 3rd down. Gentry will come across the formation. Now he'll line up with trips. Check it at the line. Digman in pistol right now. Broughton shouting some instructions to his offensive line. Clock winding down, 23 seconds and counting. Play clock winding down, under 10. Broughton, good protection, steps out of it. 3 people in the backfield. He's going to try to come around the corner. Throws out into no man's land. Trace Burney was the intended receiver, but he was just a little short on the throw.
Now, don't get me wrong, Sebastian Broughton has some crazy hip fluidity to be able to roll opposite body strength, turn his hips all the way around and deliver that throw, but that is not a very high percentage pass. And there's so many different factors, from how much your arm angle changes to how close the rush is to you to how much he's going to run across the field. There's so many factors. A very, very tough throw to make. That's a Sunday's throw, not a high school throw.
Stop on defense for Creekside. Ball sitting at the 37-yard line, a little far for Parker Sertivan's range, so they'll send him back to punt. Steps into that, gets a little hang time. Fair catch signaled. And Fleming Island players surrounding it. Took a bounce. And that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter of play. Fleming Island 38, Creekside 28. Going to the final 12 minutes of play here, and we've got a good one for you. Don't go anywhere. We'll stay right here. Sunshine State Broadcasting's presentation of Friday Night Lights on SSB is brought to you by Worldwide Automotive on County Road 220 in Middleburg. We're also brought to you by First Baptist Church of Orange Park.
I think what the senior captain Reyes did there was hilarious. He knew that the offensive huddle was going to be on the left side of the field, and he knew that all the other players had to go to the opposite side. And he's like, hey, guys, you're going that way. I'm going this way. Goes straight to his spot on the bench. So a very, very senior, very vet move there. I thought that was quite hilarious for the big guy.
I love a good big man moment. So Creekside takes over, only down 10. Fleming Island has only had a tie early in the first half. Beyond that, they have led this entire game. Sean Aschenfelder, the senior quarterback, try to see if they can get his team within a field goal. Going to run an option pitch out to Harrison Garrido. Sets the edge really well, gets dragged down just before getting a first down, dragged him down inbounds after about a 9-yard gain.
23, Harrison Garrido for Creekside.
And he has run all over the place.
On the catch. Second down, Creekside.
Spot the ball just shy of the 25. 2nd and 1. Give it to Garrido. No, they fake it. Pressure. Aschenfelder jumps out of it. He scrambles, gets a first down, moves the sticks, did what he needed to do. Coverage downfield was pretty good. It looked like he wanted to throw to Aaron Soteros, who was in single coverage.
Well, this passing game for Creekside has struggled mightily, and anything that's more than 15 yards down the field has been a struggle as well. So unless it's to his left side, he's really, really struggling to get the ball down the field. And, of course, Donaldson was one of our pregame focuses here. Not targeted very much at all.
Rolls to his left side this time. That is an incomplete.
Speaking of,
Donaldson playing the lockdown on that one. Soteros has the ball pop off his hands, incomplete.
Second down, Knights.
.11:03 to go in the ball game here. Ball sits at the 25-yard line. 38-28. Creekside trying to put this to a one-possession game. Garrette runs into traffic. Gets 4, maybe 5 yards. Actually, they will say get to the 30-yard line. Brings up third down and very manageable for the Knights.
Short gain, third down, Creekside.
Third and 6 is what they'll call it here. Get a snap. Ashenfelder with throw. Caught. That's a first down. Whoa. And
Ooh,
Caleb Taylor
those
Birch
hurt. Those aren't fun.
slips and falls on the Fleming Island sideline in that area that is
Complete to number 6, Caleb Taylor
not
Birch.
exactly designed for cleats per se.
Back in the day, I was a scamper out of bounds kind of quarterback. Get the first down and get out of dodge. So I have done that exact thing many a time. Not one, not two, multiple times have I ate it on that very slick mat. You hit that mat with cleats, you're on the ground.
You might as well be ice skating at that point. First down, Creekside. Harrison Garrette finds some blockers and then gets shoved.
Oh.
The ball is loose. That's a Fleming Island fumble recovery. The turnover that we were waiting for to bust this open, and there he is. Never not working. Nate Hoff with the fumble recovery, and that's the turnover we were looking for, David, to shove this game's momentum in the opposite direction.
The fumble recovery stat is the most right place, right time kind of stat there is. But there was nobody more deserving of getting that cheap little tick in the stat column than Nate Hoff tonight. He's been working so hard. They've been running at him with the double team. They circled him as the guy they were trying to go after, which is an odd choice. But in that moment, he comes up huge. The ball lands and bounces right into his hands. Great play by the kid. Nicely done.
Nate Van Hoff does the job, gives the ball back to Sebastian Broughton in a 10-point game. 10-16 to go. Fleming Island will try to open this up to a 3-possession lead. Takes it himself, finds a run lane. Goodbye. Sebastian Broughton into the end zone for a worldwide automotive touchdown, no doubt.
That feels like a nail in the coffin kind of play right there. You never want to say it's over in high school football, especially if your offense has already put up 28 points. But that was a big one right there.
Puts his foot in the ground, runs straight in, untouched. Major touchdown, his first one on the ground tonight. He's thrown 5 touchdowns. That's his 6th total touchdown of the night.
And making a great point here, I'm going to bring it up one more time. It's the Jacksonville, Florida area top players through week 6 of high school football, and he is in that list. If you go to jacksonville.com, vote for Sebastian Broughton as the Jacksonville, Florida MVP through week 6.
Parker Sertivan tacks on the extra point in our new score with 10:09 to go. 45-28, Fleming Island with the lead.
Golden Eagles, 28, Creekside Knights.
Well, it's a track meet, and anything can still happen with 10:09 to go here, but that, well, you're right, David, was a definite nail in the coffin, at least one nail in the coffin.
I don't know if I'm Creekside, even if I score here, I'm kicking the onside kick. I don't care how much time is left on the clock. If you give Sebastian Broughton the ball, he's going to score. So every single time here, you have to find a way to prevent him from touching the rock.
Yeah, I imagine you're going to have them steal a possession if possible.
Town Hall Circle. As soon as the game is over, you can make your way over there, get some Jeremiah's Italian ice.
Sertivan will kick this off.
At the 5th quarter.
It's been pretty reliable kicking things into the end zone. Fleming Island's largest lead of the night has been 17. Kicks away. Nice high end over end kick. That's going to be returnable. Jackson Earl makes a man miss. Oh, goodness. He's got a running lane. Tries to get around a blocker, spins out of it, and then gets knocked down. Made it interesting anyway, and might have gotten just shy of the 30-yard line.
Now that's Sebastian Cruz missing that tackle in the open field. That is not a customary thing for him to do. And next level, collegiate level, you're going to be playing a lot of special teams. So get used to seeing looks like that, because that's something you've got to get better at.
9:58 to go in the ball game. Down 17. And I agree with you, David. If you get a touchdown on this drive, you're going to have to steal a possession somehow.
You can't give him back the ball. He's just going to score again.
Rolls out, got pressure, it's going to get sacked.
Cohen.
And Cohen Juffy, the moose is loose. He gets another sack.
Been looking for a big play for him for most of the season. He's definitely been a contributor and a tackle in the box guy, but on that play he gets an opportunity to blitz, finds a heat-seeking missile target, and goes and finishes.
Second down and 22 at the 17-yard line. Get a snap, throws out into the flat, a big man catch there, and he bowls over, and that was a big catch by number 45, Reed Long, senior tight end.
Corey Allen's not going for knees there, he's going for shins. You got to find a way to get lower than the lowest man.
Gets a good chunk of the penalty yardage back, makes it 3rd and about 12. Under 9 minutes to go. Aschenfelder drops back, scans, looks, he's got a tipped ball, catches his own pass, and
that's a mistake.
Is going to be a stop immediately. Nate Van Hoff makes sure he goes nowhere.
Yeah, not only is that a tough play for the quarterback, that looks like it hurt too. You got sandwiched at the end of the play. What you thought was going to be a completion coming out of your hands ends up being a glorified sack.
4th down and Broadway for the Creekside Knights, and they are in no position to punt the football back to Fleming Island. They have got to go for it. They need 22 yards again.
There's confusion for the Fleming Island Golden Eagles. A couple players don't know what's going on here.
Need to get to, it looks like about the 38-yard line.
Team turns back to the sideline looking for a call. Got one.
Get a snap, pressure in the backfield, fades out of it, caught, and he got a first down.
Oh, that's brutal. First down by a yard.
Eros Topher with the reception, a 23-yard reception, and it moves the sticks.
I wouldn't chalk that one up to the miscommunication either. Maybe there might have been a bit better in the pass rush there, but that's just an excellent throw and a big body catch on a smaller defensive back.
Creekside goes tempo. They need everything here. And Topher again with another reception. He gets dragged down, and another Creekside first down, and they seem to have found something on that boundary.
I want to discredit the physicality and speed of Allen. He is definitely a well above average high school starter. In fact, he's probably one of the better defensive backs in the district. However, this body of the Creekside receiver is just stronger and longer, able to make those receptions in the perimeter.
Hustle up back to the line again, pressure in the backfield. Jarius Rogers overshoots. Aschenfelder steps out, slides down at the 40-yard line. A.J. Witt on the stop.
Now at the high school level, you're not going to get as much of those ticky-tack fouls on the slides there. So as the process of the slides started, there was already a launch going on from Witt. So that is not a dirty play, clean tackle, and on to second down.
Drops back, a little coverage, throws it out in the flat. That's a one-hopper, incomplete.
Yeah, starting to lose a little bit of the zip off that fastball. His jersey is definitely getting a little bit more mud on it too. That too is almost unrecognizable from when it started the game.
3rd down and 7. Ball sitting at the 39-yard line of Fleming Island. 7 minutes exactly left in this ball game.
When you're a quarterback, you want dirt on the front of your jersey. Man, you slide, you dove for touchdowns. Not on the back of your jersey. You spent most of the game on your back.
Give it to Garrette, steps, shakes a tackler, and that is going to be a great stop by Fleming Island and a much-needed one because Garrette has been running all over the place. Lavelle Howard with the tackle for Fleming Island. It's going to bring up another 4th down situation.
Now you're going to have to throw here, but if you get this first down, I would not abandon that run game. It's really what kept you in the ball game.
4 wide, and we're going to get a penalty on this one.
Oh, no.
Creekside receiver leaned a little forward there beforehand. It's going to be 4th and 10.
I'm not sure I've seen 86 touch the ball yet, so that's definitely a tough penalty for him.
Mike Beisheim with the false start penalty on the outside. It's going to make it 4th and 11 now. The 44-yard line is where the ball rests. Get a snap, good protection, throws it over the middle, caught. Topher again. Did he get a first down? Yes, he did.
Now, even game plan-wise, they switched the defensive back responsibilities of Donaldson and Allen, and they even switched sides of the field so that they'll have 10 shadowing 14, and didn't help. Still complete the pass.
So they'll take the water break, and this is probably a welcome sign for Fleming Island, as they needed a breath on that one. Creekside has managed to convert 2 fourth downs on this drive. And Fleming Island, again, as that drive extends, they get a little gassed. 6:14 to go in the ball game. It's Fleming Island 45, Creekside 28. The Knights trying to get down here and get this back to a closer margin. They're down 17 right now. I imagine as we reset here, they get a touchdown, David. They're kicking onside. They're trying to steal the possession back. They've got timeouts if they need to use them, so even if Fleming Island does get the ball back, and they manage not to move the ball, they can control the clock a little bit. But
you're completing passes in the middle of the field, and some of them are going for 4, 5 yards, 2-yard gains. It's the same as running the ball. Running the ball, if this is the style of offense you're going to play, is an equivalency to what you're doing, and you had 7, 8, 9, 15, 20-yard chunks that you were knocking off in the third quarter. Going back to that run game is probably what you should be doing here.
6:24 now is what's on the clock, and the clock is now winding by the referee's signal. 1st and 10, ball at the 29. Blitz coming in. Garrette runs past it, breaks a hole. Harrison Garritto's going to get tripped up, and then he finds the end zone. And another worldwide automotive touchdown for Harrison Garrette. He has had a heck of a night.
They just can't find a way to get him on the ground. It's their most effective plays on offense there. It's the same as that weak zone run, except they're doing it out of a 3 wide receiver set now. So the defensive backs are all spread out, and the defensive tackles for Fleming Island are still not able to stop that middle run. So it's a more effective version of what they did before.
Much needed touchdown for the Knights. 6:08 left to go in the ball game. Extra point attempt is good. Our new score, 45-35. Creekside has made it a 10-point ball game again. Now we see where the gamesmanship comes in.
Yeah, I'm onside kicking this 100%.
So we'll see if they line up to steal a possession here. Thank you, sir. That was a very large bug that was on my back. What a game we've been treated to tonight. 80 points between these teams this evening. It doesn't seem like Creekside Fleming Island is ever devoid of offense, that's for sure.
And when I think of this game, too, I think Fleming Island should be dominating this game. There's portions of it where I see Fleming Island have superior talent on the defensive line, especially on the edges that aren't producing. And then you're going to have an offensive output that's absolutely phenomenal, but it's so fast that it puts the Creekside offense right back on the field. So your gassed defense is spending longer and longer and longer drives, and they're absolutely exhausted at this point.
So the ball rests kind of funny on the tee, and they're getting ready to kick onside. Fleming doesn't look like they have a hands team out there, and this is going to get a bounce, but be recovered by the Golden Eagles. Creekside almost caught him napping on that one.
Had to do it. There's no other alternative to it. There's so high percentage chance of Sebastian Broughton coming out here and scoring a touchdown that you needed to kick an onside kick no matter how much time was left on the clock. I mean, 6 minutes is right around that borderline time for a 2-possession game. But at the end of the day, if it's a 3-possession game, it's game over.
2 of those possessions that Creekside is down have been the result of turnovers. Aschenfelder has thrown an interception tonight, and the Knights have coughed up the football, recovered by Nate Van Hoff. So you scratch those in the stat column. Fleming Island really has played a dominant game despite the score. I mean, when you go +2 in the turnover ratio, 6 total touchdowns from your quarterback, my goodness. Brady Digman gets across the 50. He'll get stopped after a short gain. Now, if you're Creekside at this point, you want to try to lock this down. You know they're going to run the ball a little bit, try to run the clock, but you need to get this ball back with as much time as you can.
Now, here's a big development in the game. That's it's Trace Burney hobbling off the field here. A little gimpy. Don't know what's going on with him, but that's a big loss for them.
You need him in good shape down the stretch with these pivotal district games coming up. Hopefully that's just a gimpy ankle.
If there's one thing that has not been effective in this game, it's been the interior run.
2nd and 7 from the 49 of Creekside. Broughton gets a snap, flings it out. That's caught and immediately put down. And a blazing tackle by number 9, Garen Blaylock.
Pass complete to James Fitzgerald, number
Now,
18.
Tristan Stevenson, I know that blocking is not why you signed up to play
First
receiver,
down for the Golden Eagles.
but on that play in particular, you were the point man on that. I know the catch and the run after the catch of the screenplay is what really gets the stat column going, but it's only set up by the perimeter blocking of the wide receivers, and you have to be as physical as that defensive back. Even though he's there to make tackles, you're there to make sure you almost get him to the ground.
Fitzgerald was the receiver on the play. He maybe lost a yard on that. Actually, they mark it 3rd and 9 on the 49-yard line of Fleming Island. 5:07 is where we stand right now with a timeout. Creekside takes their first charge timeout with 2 remaining. Fleming Island also has 2 timeouts. Very important to mention those timeouts just in case Creekside manages to get the ball back and get in the end zone again. 45-35 is our score right now, with Fleming Island trying to drain this clock and get out on Military Appreciation Night with a victory. 3rd down. Creekside feigns blitz and flag on the play. I'm not sure if they broke the neutral zone or not. We'll get a call here in a second. Bernie is still visibly limping. Looks like he's favoring that left ankle. So they did break the plane in the neutral zone. In high school ball, you can break the plane and then they draw the flag. You cannot get in and get out like you can in other football. So that's 3rd and 4 now. Broughton drops back, pressure. They're going to flag for holding. Looks like I had a jersey grab. Broughton's going to have this one come back no matter what happens. Gentry catches or attempts to catch the air pass, and you're going to get him on a 10-yard penalty, and that was a pretty obvious grab of the jersey on that one.
Now this will be interesting here. Are you taking the 3rd down, or are you going to decline this and take 4th down?
And that's exactly what they did. So that brings up 4th down, and
Coach is leaving him out there. No, here comes the punt team. Okay, here comes the punt team.
Yep, they bring on the special teams. Yeah, I thought for a minute that Coach Chip was going to leave his offense on and try to finish this off. But
Which
no,
doesn't seem like the worst idea in the world. You put the ball in Sebastian Broughton's hands. He's completing over 60% of his passes. Likely you convert this 1st down.
So Sertivan punts. And it looks like they have Caleb Taylor-Birch back deep for the Knights. A little bit of high snap. Sertivan gets up. Yeah, it was close. Taylor-Birch will let this one roll, and this is going to get a generous spin past the 15-yard line. And that's where Creekside will take over.
Now you will get 30 yards of field position out of that punt. You know that's well and good, but you would have won the game had you gone for that 4th down and converted it. The game is essentially over.
Nonetheless, they play field position. I guess banking on the fact that they've played good defense enough to hold them off. 4:46 to go here. Question is now, will they lean into that run game just as much as they have? Because Garrette has been an answer for Creekside all night. Drops back, got a deep pass, got a man, that's caught. And Arrows Topher with another catch.
All right, and the clock stops here, so there's no rush. There's no need to stress anything. Get your best play on the field here and keep going.
They go tempo.
Actually, no, that's not true. You're outside of 3:30, so the clock will wind.
Spot the ball at the 44-yard line. Drops back. Good blocking. Steps up. Finds a run lane. Slides down across the 50. Started to slide right about the 49-yard line is what they'll say. Brings up 2nd down. Clock moving under 4.5 minutes. Back to the line they go.
Take a deep breath, get the snap off.
Low snap, gets it.
Nice
Throws
throw.
out inside, caught. Another first down.
Clock stop.
Aaron Soteros with another reception. Clock will stop right there with 4:10 to go. Creekside driving again.
Now, above 3:30, it's still not a permanent stoppage.
Garrette drops out of the flat. Pressure, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's as far as he goes. Avoids the sack. Howard on the pressure. Creekside will line up again, 2nd and 10, ball at the 36. Full-on sprint now for the Knights. Aschenfelder rolls out of the pocket, finds a wide-open receiver sitting down. Couple of good moves there, and another first down for Creekside.
All right, give the ball to the official as quickly as possible. Not that official.
Number 6, Taylor Birch.
Taylor Birch with the reception. 3:41 to go. Clock stops temporarily. Move the sticks. And they'll wind it back in play. Into the red zone again. Drops back. Good protection. Caught. That's once again Aaron Soteros.
All right, now you give the ball to the umpire. That's the umpire. He spots the ball quickly, and your offense can get on the ball.
Gets around about the 10-yard line. I think they spot him officially at the 9. That's now 1st and goal. Creekside, 3:26 and counting.
All right, I think that run game should be on the table here. You really popped a couple good ones.
Still plenty of time on the clock. He'll get a snap, drops back, finds a man in the end zone. That's over his head. That was the one you wanted. Incomplete. Stops the clock with 3:11.
2nd and goal for the Knights.
Not a bad throw read there, just a little high.
Oh, we're talking foot away from a touchdown there. Barely missed it.
Second and goal from the 9-yard line. Creekside got a stop on defense, has been driving steadily, trying to make this a one-possession game. Snap, they'll get a lead block. Aschenfelder will try to take it himself. He got close. They're going to say he was down. Forward progress ended at the 2-yard line. 3rd down and goal right at the 3-minute mark.
All right, here comes a substitution offensively, and comes in Cohen defensively. So here comes a big stack here. It's going to be big on big.
Ty Street, the linebacker, he comes off. 2:47 and counting, 3rd and goal. They'll take it student body left. Aschenfelder waltzes into the end zone for a Creekside touchdown.
And we got a ball game here, BP.
And we have another Worldwide Automotive touchdown. Sean Aschenfelder, that's his 3rd rushing touchdown on the night from 2 yards out. Comes at 2:40 to go in the game.
So then you have to revisit the decision, and coaches hate it when you do this. Everybody hates it when you do this. But we got to revisit the decision of that 4th down. Middle of the field, the opportunity after they declined that kick to go for it and put the game away had you converted it, with your quarterback having one of the games of his life. Big extra point block.
Huge extra point block.
The extra point is blocked.
Keeps the score at 45 to 41. Either way, you've got to get the ball back if you're Creekside, but that is massive because that takes the field goal away.
Yeah, that's big right there. That's really increasing the odds of Fleming Island winning. I don't know exactly what the range of the Creekside kicker would be, but now your offense has to win. Your offense has to score a touchdown or else they're not in the game.
So the gamesmanship may continue here. Now we're kind of 50-50 on the onside kick. You've got 2:40 to go.
Oh, I'm 100%. I'm not letting Sebastian Broughton touch this ball. If there's any chance he doesn't get it, sold.
Either way, 2:40 to go. You've got 2 timeouts in your pocket. You stopped them last time, forced them to punt, which is probably a decision they'll want back. But we're going to try onside again. The last onside kick almost got successful, just a little ahead of his hands team there.
Nice to see Trace Burney back on the field there. He's going to be in the primary receiving position. That's that back right, or top of your screen.
Rest the ball on its side.
Now, if I'm Creekside, I'm shooting this one right at Brady Digman.
It's got to get to the 50-yard line before Creekside can touch it. Hans team goes to that right side. They get a bounce. It's got a trail. Bounces up. And
got it.
Creekside got it.
It's great discipline by 14, jumping up in the air, saw that the ball didn't travel to the 50-yard line. He pulls his hands away. Fleming Island thinks they're going to try to hit him. Oh, no, ball goes over his head and recovered by Creekside.
David, I think the first one's on me tonight. You're killing it with the calls here.
This is going to be a barn burner here in this end of the fourth quarter here. I'm just happy to be calling a close one with you, BP.
2:39 to go.
This is why we do this.
Absolutely. This is Friday Night Lights, everybody. Hope you are got a cold one yourself of any variety. Enjoy the finish on this one, guys. This is going to be great. Highlights for days here that we will have on social media and on YouTube. Going to have me working late tonight, that's for sure. Probably into Saturday morning during college game day as Miami and Cal face off 10:30 tomorrow night.
I'll be at the Florida State and Clemson game, a 7 o'clock kickoff.
God bless you, sir. But hey, DJU's not playing, thank goodness. Harrison Garrette, who's been a stalwart running back tonight, gets to the 45-yard line.
And with this amount of time left on the clock, they are going to lean on this run game. They're going to keep the up-tempo, but they're going to feed him the rock.
Fleming Island also has 2 timeouts, and I would expect 1 or 2 defensively here. Ashenfelder pitches out. Garrette with a heck of a move. Stays in bounds. Clock winds. 2:13 and counting. Brings up 3rd and short.
All right, in comes the heavy package from Creekside. They're going to bring in the 2 tight ends, but that substitution is going to burn some clock here. We're going to be inside of 2 minutes for sure.
We indeed get to that 2-minute mark. 3rd down and 2. Ball at the 43. Get a snap. Ashenfelder will take it himself. Gets a 1st down and more. That will stop the clock temporarily as soon as his forward progress is winded.
Right,
that is the case, 1:48.
Miscommunication there from Fleming Island's defense. They didn't know how they were going to line to the 2 tight end set. Not something they might have practiced too much beforehand. In fact, one of the tight ends is the 52, so that's really hard to know what he's going to go.
1st down. Harrison Garrette runs into a stone wall, but then bounces out of a tackle. Gets across down to the 25-yard line. Garrette run right into Reyes.
That's a tough call for Reyes. Reyes having to play offense, every snap of offense at center, and then having to be down the stretch here as a defensive lineman. Really, really tough assignment.
Ball quickly set, 90 seconds to go in this exciting ball game. Ashenfelder pulls it out, heads to the sidelines. That'll stop the clock around about the 20-yard line, 1:23 to go.
And Van Hoff looks like he's down. It's going to cost Fleming Island a timeout. Hope he's all right, though.
Official timeout, injury.
He's down on the Creekside sideline right now, and Van Hoff has been playing his Van Hoff off tonight. A fumble recovery, a sack.
Now, I don't want to take anything away from Van Hoff here. He's an excellent player and a key cog in this defense. He will be sorely missed, and of course that we hope he's as healthy as possible leading into next week. Sorry to see him down, but strategically we'll shift now to Cohen moving from his inside linebacker position to that defensive end spot. And what that does is put a much lighter body in 17th Street in the middle here, being very susceptible to that inside run with 2 defensive tackles that are absolutely gassed and a brand new smaller linebacker there in the middle.
It's too early to tell right now, David. Last week we kind of toyed with it being the drive 2, but I don't think that was as impactful as what this might be. If Creekside scores, they'll leave Fleming Island with enough time and some timeouts in their pocket for Sebastian Broughton to pull out some heroics. Could we see the drive 2 tonight?
Now with 1 minute and 23 seconds and the way that they've been playing so far in this 2-minute drill, I do realize they started with about 2:30 left, but a 2-minute drill, you're ordinarily throwing the ball all over the yard. Here they're running the ball because that's their best option. They're checking out the shoulder here of Nate Van Hoff. We hope he's all right, but you know, he's been playing a hell of a game, and you know, it's definitely a gladiator sport for a reason.
He's on his feet. He is walking a little gingerly, but they've got that helmet, so. 1:23 to go. Creekside down 4 points. It's 45-44. Ball sitting right now at the 22-yard line. 2nd down and 7. Each team has 2 timeouts. Creekside recovered an onside kick after scoring but getting the extra point block. Sean Aschenfelder has got a couple of touchdown passes and he's run for a couple. Harrison Garrido's run for a couple. It's been a team effort tonight for both squads on the offensive side of the ball. Almost 100 points scored between these two teams. Aschenfelder will go out. He's going to get tackled inbounds.
Out of bounds. Oh, he didn't go out of bounds.
Nope, and that may force Creekside to take a timeout here.
And it'll be 4th down. That's a big play right there.
Aschenfelder, first down behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd down.
It'll be 3rd down.
3rd down.
Down marker is confusing us here. 3rd down right now. 3rd down and 11. Aschenfelder has a man caught. And that's going to be 1st down and goal. Creekside, once again, Aaron Soteros with the reception. And once again, Creekside defies the odds and gets a 1st down. 51 seconds to go.
So now flipping strategically to Fleming Island, they're no longer in a position that they can't use their timeouts. Every down here, if it's tackled in bounds, you need to use your timeouts. There's no opportunity for Creekside to get a 1st down now in the goal-to-go situation. So every time a ball carrier hits the ground, the coach needs to be sprinting over there to call one.
Drafts gives it to Garrido. Garrido runs up the middle.
Fleming Island should be burning a timeout here.
They are not electing to, and neither is Creekside. 40 seconds.
This is a grave mistake by Fleming Island not calling a timeout here.
34-33. Creekside content to try to run this down. They think they're going to get the last score of the game. Aschenfelder runs. Touchdown, Creekside.
All right.
23 seconds to go in the game.
So instead of having 40 seconds with the ball and having 2 timeouts, now you have 23 seconds left with 3 timeouts. I don't know which situation coach would rather have. I would rather have the time on the clock and a veteran quarterback.
Sean Aschenfelder with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. 47-45 with the extra point coming. Kick is up, kick is good. 23 seconds to go in regulation. Fleming Island has their first deficit of the night. Creekside leads 48-45.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Fleming Island only does have 2 timeouts. They burned a timeout early in the 3rd quarter because they had to have the right play on. They did not have the right folks and the right substitutions in and burned a second half timeout at an inopportune time. Those second half timeouts are incredibly valuable.
Creekside definitely not going onside this play. You don't want them to give up field position, so they're going to kick this one as deep as possible. Ideally, you want this to sail into the end zone and force Sebastian Broughton to drive 80 yards.
I expect a squib kick here. If I was Creekside, I would kick it to Allen. I haven't seen him as a returner yet. I would not give the ball to Trace Burney. Now they're going to...
Ball fell off the tee there.
There we go. For a second there, I thought they were going onside again. I was like,
whoa. I was about
whoa.
to say, that's inexplicable to do that a 3rd time. 23 seconds. Yeah, I'd imagine this would go to an upback. We're in for a heck of a finish. Kick is high and returnable. Trace Burney runs into a wall of Creekside defenders. Breaks a tackle, gets across the 20. 17, 16 seconds. They stop the clock finally. Clock is still running. They need to stop it and adjust it. That should be about 18, maybe 17 seconds on the clock.
But again, now you're arguing over 4 seconds versus the 20 seconds you gave up in the goal-to-go situation. So every second matters, and that 20 seconds was huge in scenarios like this.
16 seconds on the clock. Fleming Island down 3 points. It's 48-45. If you have just joined us this evening, first off, shame on you. You've missed a heck of a game. The good news is that you can catch a replay of this on our YouTube channel and watch this for a while. This one is a classic, another good one between Fleming Island and Creekside. The only bummer about this is that it's no longer a district game.
Well, right now, Fleming Island's thinking it's very thankful this is not a district game. This is one they had won and let slip through their fingers. But still, 16 seconds left to play. High school football, anything can happen.
Do you try to get downfield and get a touchdown here or put it on the leg of Parker Sertivan? Broughton throws up, single coverage. He's got, that was to Corey Allen. And that ball hung up far too long, 10 seconds. I could see what he was trying to do there, but that pass just hung up too far.
Well, I'm just surprised on the defensive look that Creekside decided to put out there. They are, yeah, they definitely need to call a timeout here because they were in man-to-man coverage with their deepest safety being 10 yards deep. That's not how you play prevent defense in fourth quarter football.
Coming up on just before 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. 10 seconds to go. Fleming Island has led for the majority of this game. Creekside has battled back and have a 3-point lead right now. I think if you're Fleming Island, you've got 10 seconds. You need 2 big chunk plays. You need to get to at least the 20-yard line of Creekside to set up Parker Sertivan to try to get this to overtime. Unless you can do what you've done all night and find a way to get Bernie in the open space and bust one loose to finish the game. Second down, ball at the 23. Broughton takes a snap, can't take a whole lot of time off the clock. Steps out, throws deep, home run ball. Gentry is going to get flagged. That's going to be pass interference. They've got 1 second on the clock.
Now, if I'm Creekside, that's only a 15-yard penalty. That's not the most gigantic penalty in the world. So you're going to have one untimed down here. Likely this was going to be the last play of the game anyway. All in all, that is not the biggest penalty in the game here. And if that ball had been completed with a second left on the clock, you would have seen a game-tying attempt from Parker Sertivan. But you're only going to get 15 yards marched.
So they have said the clock has expired.
One more play.
They will extend this to one untimed down. Creekside will likely back everybody up deep. And barring another defensive penalty, they may scamper out of here on Military Appreciation Night with a huge win over a Fleming Island team that has pretty much held them at bay. Broughton to try to finish the game. He will get sacked. And Creekside has done it again to Fleming Island. Final score, 48-45.
That's a tough one for the Fleming Island faithful here. That was a definite game that they had one of attrition on defense that they had lost. Something that you really hope that you have to have corrected in the week. There's going to have to be more of a rotation on the defensive side of the ball. You're going to have to see offensive players contribute on the defense because there's just not enough depth over there to make sure they're hanging around late in games.
I would say wild finish. Unbelievable. So now you've got a short week to go back into district play against Beachside. And you really wanted to win this game, honestly, not just for momentum's sake, but Creekside has gotten the better of you a couple of times. It happened yet again tonight in another shootout. So this is going to leave a bitter taste in your mouth, but maybe this is motivation because now you're going back into district play. You're 2-0 in the district right now. If you win out, you're going to end up with a playoff berth. So you've got to finish a job here, but this one's got to sting.
It definitely does. Sebastian Broughton played one of the games of his life. You know, one of the things that you hope for is that Sebastian Broughton really, puts away games late, and he had an opportunity to do so. I can't stop thinking about that fourth down in the middle of the field, 4th and 5, when you're completing 70% of your passes out here, you're running for touchdowns. Every play you have is electric. That was an opportunity to put the game away.
Yeah, I think if you go for it on 4th and 4 there, you finish the job because Creekside's not going to be able to come back. You likely would have scored again, extended your lead. But, hats off to the Knights. They played their butts off tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. The Harrison Garrette was a baller tonight. Sean Aschenfelder, 3 touchdowns. I mean, you just can't argue with the performance from the Knights. They really played and stayed in this game all the way down to the finish. Again, our final score from Randy Warren Stadium on Military Appreciation Night, Creekside 48, Fleming Island 45. Next week, we go back to work on a Thursday night, a special edition of FNL on SSB. Beachside comes to town for another district matchup, a pivotal game. Fleming Island wins this one. They take an outright first-place lead in 5A District 3, and their only competition at that point is Middleburg. That's going to be an interesting end to the season for sure. For Brian Paul, this is David Wells to my left, our producer-director, Courtney Wallace. Garrett Binford, the veteran on the camera. Aaron Belchamber, yes, he's a veteran. He told me that later. He's not the only veteran on the team. For all of us here at SSB, we wish you a wonderful weekend. Hey, don't forget Caden over here too, man. Caden listening to the game all night, trying to keep us in line. We're going to put him on the camera at some point. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Thursday night, October the 10th, for Thursday Night Lights on SSB. So long, everyone.
Having served Clay County for 18 years, Worldwide Automotive is bringing back the neighborhood repair facility with fair and honest pricing. It's why Worldwide Automotive's motto is car repair with care. Worldwide Automotive provides old-fashioned customer-centered service in an environment that is friendly and welcoming. Servicing domestic and European cars, Worldwide Automotive is offering $25 off to anyone who mentions this ad. And that's for any service. There's no need to go to the dealer for your 30, 60, 90, or 120-mile services. They offer same-day service and will handle your requirements for oil changes, belts, tire rotations, air conditioning, brake flushes, transmission services, and tune-ups. Come by and say hi to owners Joe and Valerie and see why they say their customers are family. Worldwide Automotive is located at 2490 County Road 220. For more information, go to worldwide-automotive.com.